Yeah, back in my day now, son.
Back to Phil then.
Yeah, he's certainly an optimistic and ambitious player, but the
not that.
7-5 would be quite something.
We did say David very interested with the 6-5 early though.
He almost found the hero call of all hero punts in some ways. It would have been spectacular to see him ruffle it in with the 6-5 suited there, but didn't quite see it. But he had a good, accurate assessment. Maybe that's the live experience. He just kind of read his opponents for both having ace high.
Yep.
And there's definitely something to that. Sometimes you do get this kind of intuition. You don't know why, but he's played thousands of hours of live poker, and there are sort of these microscopic things that our subconscious mind can pick up sometimes.
Yep. And we saw the price structure, 55K up top in this one, and the coveted golden ring, of course, that they're all looking to get on their finger.
And, of course, the entry into the WSOP Tournament of Champions next year. Which is
free roll.
Yeah,
1 million, right?
1 million free roll. I was talking to Diver about that yesterday. There was over 200K up top.
Oh, wow. Yeah, and speaking about a 1 million, the main event is running in the other room here, and it's a 1 million guarantee, so 1,500 buy-in for that one. And we will have coverage of that, of course, later in the week as well.
Absolutely. Can't wait for that one.
And now,
my favorite event.
Dimitri, all in with the Queen-Jack suited. Phil with the same hand, not suited though, and probably just not really thinking about...
Yeah, I think most players would fold here, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Phil call, because I just think he's completely unfazed by ICM or any kind of monetary factor. I think he just plays what he thinks is best, and his opponent will have hands like 10-9 suited, Jack-10, Jack-9 off maybe. So
smaller pairs as well.
Yeah, smaller pairs that you're doing okay against. Queen-Jack has actually got a deceivingly high amount of equity versus this kind of 10 big blind shoving range. But is he going to be able to find the call? That's the thing. Does he want to risk? He's just worked so hard to get his stack that he came into the final table with to get back on track. So does he want to again lose and be down in the doldrums with 10 big blinds? That's what he's probably considering right now. Got to think about the range of your opponent, but also think about what happens if I win, what happens if I lose. Can I kick on and win this tournament if I win? Yeah, possibly, but losing, I think, is usually the outcome that has more weight on a final table.
Yep, that's some time.
He's taking his sweet time here. He's very much...
I think they're just heading into a break as well, so maybe it's just stalling, right?
Oh, right, yeah. Needs to hit the toilet or something.
Yeah, want to come back on the small blind. Goes for the call.
He goes for the hero call.
And sees the queen first, and there's, we have the same hand. All right, sigh of relief. He didn't want to see an ace behind that queen.
I love this guy. He's great, isn't he?
So now then, for Phil's sake, not hoping too many diamonds falls on the board, though. He's still, as you can see,
he's double suited
behind.
So he's got the
double draw, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's a black queen.
Ooh, there
one
is a
diamond. Yeah, so some backdoor outs for no. Is there how many queens is in this one?
One more. We need a floor.
It's a chop. And Dimitri, Phil, both quite happy about the result. Did we have? No, we have time for at least another hand before we are going on a 15-minute break shortly.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because we still only had 2 eliminations on the feature table here. And we're going to be coming back to the 100, 200, 200 with an average stack of only 2.6 million. So 13 big blind average because of the stubbornness of the players at the table, the lack of the eliminations. Then we're going to really see things kick into gear because we have started to see the average stack dwindle already, but this next step I feel will be a huge one in the fortunes of many of the players.
Yeah, sure. Committing a lot of huge part of your stack when you're in the big blind and the big blind ante.
Absolutely
and now
right.
It looks like David is done for now, heading off to the break together with Rope, as is Oleksi and Rasmus at the ace-4 in the cutoff. No, let's go. It's time for a chocolate bar for him as well, maybe. Or maybe go do some putting outside in the parking lot.
Practice a swing in the car park.
Phil then, does he want to steal the last pot? Yes, he does.
Wow, what a baller. 8-7 off. And Tigran's here with a lot of ICM pressure on him. Is he going to call it off with 9 bigs?
Yeah, as you said, he would be coming back with 1.2 and 200k big blind.
6 big blinds. And lots of pressure on him. And Phil finding a nice aggressive play here with the 8-7. It's not a question of like his cards. It's really like how often can his opponent call off? And the answer is not very often at all.
No.
Tigran's with a tough spot here with Jack 9. He does okay against a lot of holdings, and he does dominate a few. If Phil's shoving 8-7, he's probably shoving a Jack deuce suited.
And as you said, Tigran's online poker pro since many years. And I mean, if he's playing a lot of tournaments, he's been in this spot before, and I think he's called it off many times as well online. But it's of course it's a bit different when you play only one table live and you have everything else to take into consideration. He knows Phil's history, and I thought it was a call.
Yeah, it looked like chips were moving forward.
Yeah.
And this is interesting because Tigran's is very new to live poker, so engaging in this
Forward
conversation
motion
with Phil.
Yeah.
No, I mean in terms of the dynamics and the psychology. It's is he going to be able to pick up anything being so inexperienced in this format of the game?
Yeah.
Although the issue is if you sense weakness with a hand like Jack 9, they could still have a hand like, King 5 off, which is doing quite well against you, or Queen 9 or something like that. So it's very difficult in these wide range versus wide range spots. Lots of ICM pressure on Tigran's. He is, I believe, the shortest stack. Rupe is going to be going through the blinds, which are now going to be up to 100, 200, 200. So he's got to factor that into his decision. Of course, for chips or in the earlier stages of the tournament, you just close your eyes and get it in here for the 9 big blinds, blind versus blind. But I think he's probably going to fold. Yeah.
Yeah, he's close to a fold. Yeah, there we go. So Phil shows the 8-7. Yeah, but still folding from Tigran's. And we're heading off on a 15-minute break now then.
Absolutely.
So let's go freshen up, and we'll be back in the studio in just short of 15 minutes. We'll have a countdown clock for you so you don't miss anything. And looking forward to a bit of a short stack poker coming up then.
Yeah,
but
but
for
I
a while.
think it could be the Phil Gross show from now. It looks like he's really moving through the gears. Let's see if he can get the job done after the break.
See you soon.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's day 5 here at the WSOPC Tallinn 2024, and we've reached the halfway of the festival. And today was nothing short of spectacular. Before we get into it though, we want to congratulate our champion of ring event number 4, €350 PLO 4 and 5 progressive bounty, Aki Pysing from Finland, who walked away with the ring and €6,300. What did it take you to win the tournament?
Just to be very lucky. It's very important to be born on Sunday.
Ooh, that's the first one. I haven't heard that before. And actually, I think I was born on a Sunday. So I have a chance?
Yeah, you should consider giving up to interviews and starting playing poker.
How did you prepare yourself for the final day?
We played all day through, so I prepared for the final table. I ordered a double vodka and soda.
How did you celebrate, or are going to celebrate it?
Well, I celebrated it. I went to the hotel room and woke up my spouse. And then we had a cognac and then we went to sleep.
The long-awaited €1,500 main event kicked off today with Flight 1A in the morning and Flight 1B in the evening. The anticipation was palpable as players took their seats, ready to compete for the most prestigious title of the tournament. Downstairs in the casino, we hosted a lively meet and greet, complete with a surprise performance from our in-house band. It was a great chance for players and fans to mingle, relax, and enjoy some fantastic entertainment. After which we kicked off the €150 No Limit Hold'em special, where our celebrity guests took part in and had a bounty on their head. We also had the ladies meet and greet, which included a ladies-only free satellite event. This was a fantastic opportunity for our wonderful ladies to connect and compete. Alongside this, the highlight of the day, the €250 No Limit Hold'em Queen's Ring event, commenced its final, with the winner set to walk away with the coveted WSOPC ring and a top prize of €5,500. The final table battle was intense, as none of the ladies wanted to give up the ring and the prize. Play lasted for about 5 hours before the heads-up battle commenced, and it continued until...
Jamming it in, and here we have it.
At least it's an all in the call, but it's Linda from Finland. She's ahead, of course, with the ace-2, so might be the big double-up for her.
Could be. She's faded disaster and managed to be quite lucky in these all-in situations. She's won her previous 4 all-ins, I believe, as the short stack. Is she going to continue that run?
You're going to miss for both. Still ahead, well ahead with the ace-deuce.
Oh, there's a jack on the turn.
Big change. Now, Linda from Norway. Oh, there we have our winner in the ladies event. WSOP Circuit event in Tallinn. Ladies event, the ring winner is Linda from Norway.
So you were the one taking home the fabulous WSOPC ladies ring. And I saw the battle, it was pretty tough. What do you think was your advantage in the heads-up game?
First of all, I was lucky. I had great cards. Maybe a tiny advantage that I'm not afraid of losing.
Yeah, I saw your play. It was really good to watch. You were being really brave. But was there a moment in the game when you almost saw the ring on your finger?
To be frank, I knew it was gonna be mine when we were like 4 people left.
4 left.
Yeah.
Nice. Really?
Is that okay to say that?
Why not? It's being honest, you know. Congratulations to our deserving winner. Finishing off the evening, we had the €555 No Limit Hold'em Day 2. Players fought tooth and nail to reach the final table, which will be streamed live on Wednesday. And that's all for Day 5. There's still plenty more exciting poker action to come in the second half of the festival. Good luck to all the players, and let's keep the momentum going.
Some more outs. He does find the gut shot, so a 9 or a 7 will save him tournament life. Otherwise, we have the winner in Mikko Ylimäki. Is it gonna be a 9 or a 7? It's a king. Both players hit the river, but it means that Mikko Ylimäki is our winner. Congratulations, applause. King. Oh, and this might be it. Now, shipping it in, and of course we'll receive an immediate call without outs. Mantas Stanulevicius is all in, but this is the bad news for him. Edgaras Kaučinis has already sealed the title. It's over before the river falls, because Not Straight for Edgaras Kaučinis has sealed it. Huge congratulations to our winner of Kings of Tallinn main event 2024.
Hi guys, it's day 2 here at the WSOP Circuit Tallinn 2024. I'm here in the beautiful Old Town, so if you guys have breaks during the games, you can come here and enjoy it as well. We started the day off with the WSOPC 250 euro no-limit hold'em flight 1C, which saw an impressive 185 entries. Players battled it out through intense rounds, and many have successfully bagged their chips for day 2. It's shaping up to be a highly competitive event. Next up, we had the 350 euro no-limit hold'em progressive bounty. This event reached 123 entries and provided some exciting bounty action. Players were not only aiming for victory, but also hunting each other for those extra sweet rewards. Later in the day, we introduced the 250 euro open-face Chinese pineapple event, which by the way is my favorite. This unique game brought a fresh dynamic to the festival. As the evening rolled in, we hosted another flight of the WSOPC 250 euro no-limit hold'em flight 1D. The enthusiasm continued with more players joining the battle, aiming to secure their spots for day 2. That's a wrap for today. Stay tuned for more updates and highlights as the WSOPC continues. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Welcome to day 3 here at the WSOP Circuit Tallinn 2024. Today was an action-packed day with 3 exciting ring events, keeping the energy high throughout the day. First up, we had the second and final day for the WSOPC 250 euro no-limit hold'em ring event number 1. This event saw a total of 788 entries by 450 unique players coming from 32 different countries. The first place winner set to walk away with an impressive 31,620 euros. The competition was fierce and the event ran into the early hours of the morning. We also kicked off the ladies pre-roll and the WSOPC 350 euro 8-game day 1. This event attracted players who were excited to show off their skills in different types of poker games. How is the 8 game going?
Well, it hasn't gone so well so far. I'm making a re-entry now, but it's a lot of fun and nice people. So I'm looking forward to go into my second bullet. That's a good thing.
It will go better, I'm sure. In addition, the WSOPC 555 euro no-limit hold'em ring event number 3 started today with Flight 1A in the morning and Flight 1B in the evening. Players are eager to secure their spots and compete for the honorable WSOP ring. The day also saw the commencement of the 250 euro no-limit hold'em bounty event and the 150 euro no-limit hold'em and PLO 456 mix in the evening. Stay tuned for more updates and highlights as the WSOP Circuit Tallinn 2024 continues. Good luck to all the players! Welcome to the WSOPC Tallinn 2024. It has been an absolutely crazy day here at the Hilton Tallinn Park Hotel. Let's take a look at what happened. First of all, we want to congratulate the winner of our first ring event, the 250 euro no limit hold'em, which ran into the early hours of Monday morning, was won by the Latvian Eriks Krūmiņš. Eriks, you won our first ring event this year. How did you do it?
I just ran really good, won pretty much every all-in, so I can't complain. I was really lucky, really lucky. And played good as well, but mostly lucky.
Were there any spots in the tournament where you thought like, hey, maybe I could win this?
Starting from like top 80, I think, because I had a big stack there. I always thought I could win, but I understand that not everything is because of my skill. I need some luck as well, and I got that luck, and I won.
We kicked off the day with the 555 euro no limit hold'em Flight 1C. The competition was fierce as players battled it out, each one determined to advance to the next stage and get closer to that prestigious ring. Next up was the exhilarating 350 euro PLO 4 and 5 progressive bounty. This unique event, featuring 100 euro bust-out bounties, kept everyone on the edge of their seats with its intense strategy and high stakes. The 250 euro no-limit hold'em Queens event was a highlight for sure. This ladies-only 8-handed event saw incredible skill and determination as players competed to reach the final table. The final table is going to be live streamed on Tuesday, so stay tuned for more excitement from these amazing women. But the crown jewel of the day was undoubtedly the 350 euro 8-game final. The final table started out with 7 players all eyeing that ring and the first prize of over 8,000 euros. And after 7 hours of nail-biting action, we had our winner. Please tell me, how do you feel right now?
Actually very proud because I lived in Finland 10 years. They're very good in mixed games. And everyone knows I'm fish, and now I run a decent-sized mixed game tournament thingy, and everyone knows I'm fish. So to do 8 game with a ring and actually win a 3-hour heads-up battle, I'm proud. I'm not that bad.
I agree, you're not that bad at all. Was there a hand that you're like super proud of?
No, I was lucky all the way.
And that's a wrap for day 4. The WSOP Circuit Tallinn 2024 is just heating up. So stay tuned for more updates and highlights. I'll see you tomorrow for another thrilling day of poker action.
Hello and welcome back to the WSOP Circuit in Tallinn. I'm joined by Lena, joining me for the 555.
Yes.
And you're looking forward to the action. We've got 7 players remaining here playing for a top prize of 55,000 euros.
Insane.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. So we have a mixture of stacks, but the structure is catching up a little bit. So up to the 75k, 150k. So we don't go to 100, 200, which will be at the benefit of the short stacks. And these guys getting rather curious now with their small holdings. But Rasmus with the 7-3 going to be getting out the way. He's I believe, one of the current chip leaders, him and Alexei from Ukraine. Dmitry gets out the way. Phil, who's been by far the most aggressive player on the table, also maneuvers himself out of the situation. It's over to Tigran's in the small blind. Is he going to run into anything here? No, he's not. So ace-3 off suit. Taking down the pot.
So I haven't been watching this final table as I'm reporting on some of the other events.
No problem.
Has it been like aggressive or
I think Phil, who's currently not at his seat, he's in seat 3.
Yeah.
Is a German player that likes poker and other forms of gambling as well, and he seems to be very much the one who's sort of putting his foot on the gas.
Oh, okay.
And so it's kind of, it could easily turn into his one-man show. So the other guys need to contend with that kind of robust energy at the table and kind of tiptoe around it in some ways.
Yeah.
So you've been commentating on, reporting on the 1500 main event?
No, not yet. But we're obviously reporting on all the events.
Yeah.
So I'm doing a little bit here and there. So I'm picking up stories to add a flavor to the regular
kind of humanize the game in some ways.
Yeah,
because it can be quite robotic these days with everyone, lots of pros and lots of quiet personalities around the table. So bringing that to life.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice with jacks on the bottom.
Absolutely, it's dream spot for T-Grands here, and the blinds are 100, 200, so we have indeed gone up to that blind level. I thought we saw 75, 150 for a second there, but T-Grands there with 7.5
we did
bigs.
actually.
We did, didn't we?
Yeah.
So that's changed a little bit. Maybe they had a couple of seconds of the previous level to play. Not really too sure. But getting the 2 shoves through, so he came in with 6 big blinds for the continuation of play here at the final table, and already manages to pick up an extra 4.5 over just 2 hands. So very much back in the thick of it.
Yeah, that's...
So what's the most heartwarming story you've had from your sort of adventures with the reporting side of things?
Oh, there are so many.
Yeah.
But from here, because it's the way everything is set up from during all these poker festivals, like Queens of Tallinn, Kings of Tallinn, WSOPC. It's such a we're all a big warm family. So
I agree. Yeah.
and everyone is looking after each other. So I would definitely say that some of my favorite moments in live reporting. I've been doing it for 19 years, and I think that some of them are definitely from here.
I agree.
And I don't even know where to start.
There's just a special energy in the room that you don't seem to get in other parts of Europe in terms of poker.
No.
It just really comes to life here.
Yeah.
And even though you come here, there's lots of big action going on. There's not that kind of saltiness and bitterness that you can get in other places. People just come here to play. They don't mind winning or losing. It's a very kind of, there's a lot of harmony in the room, which is nice.
Yeah, definitely. Oh.
Ooh, so 6s here, kind of tricky spot with the ICM there, facing Phil, who's going into full-blown aggression mode, just running through the table. Yeah, he's just shoving every hand possible now with his King 10 suited.
It's insane.
I know, some of these hands that are folding, right?
Yeah.
They're just not looking to die, basically. They don't want to bust out, Phil, and he's going to capitalize on this situation. He is a dangerous player, and if he understands that people are just folding 6s and ace-jack to him, then what are they calling with? Not an awful lot, right? So that's going to be very profitable if he can continue the gusto in that kind of form of aggression that he's now starting to implement.
Yeah, definitely. Wow. And he's going to be aware. Someone is going to text him
Yeah, these guys are folding the
in
deck.
half an hour in their future.
On his break, exactly.
Yeah.
Phil, just keep doing what you're doing, pal. These guys don't want any of it.
Exactly. No, but I would the most heartwarming was actually covering the Queens of Tallinn.
Yeah.
I didn't know what to expect. I knew that Christer Larsson and Teresa was they really wanted to do this. And like to give something back to the women in poker, and like.
And they put their neck on the
That
line in
was-
some ways because it's a ballsy play to go for it. Ladies' participation levels in the form of the open events have risen. I was talking to Diver about that from 3 to 6%, which is great. But putting on this blockbuster ladies only event was a risky move, but it paid off, I think.
Yeah. Oh my God. And the whole atmosphere here, like you can feel the buzz now walking around in tournament room. But we had like this, it was the same buzz, but it was also so friendly. Everyone was laughing, cheering on each other. There was no like cat fights or anything.
No animosity.
Everyone was so warm, and everyone like they busted out, and 10 minutes later they stood there on the rail with a drink cheering for the person who busted them.
So rare,
like that
isn't it?
you wouldn't see that in another tournament.
No.
And it was like that the entire festival, and it was just like, I mean, I love covering and like both writing and taking pictures from ladies event because I mean, they smell well, they look well,
They remember
they're
to have a shower, actually,
smiling.
which is a phenomenon that we don't always get from the men.
No, and it was like, it was just so nice. All of them, they were so nice. Like, I've never posted so many beautiful pictures in the blog as I did.
Yeah, it must make your job very satisfying, right, to report on that and to really capture that very pure energy that runs through the room in those special ladies only events. That's for sure. We had such a great time yesterday commentating on the ladies ring event, and I just saw that the winner, Linda from Norway, was battling already in the 1500 main, so straight back to business.
Wow.
Yeah.
And she was multitabling yesterday.
Yeah, she's crazy. She was in the 555, which is now obviously what we're commentating on here.
Yeah.
But she managed to navigate one stack into the money and then come back to win the ladies event after sitting out for 2 or 3 orbits.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really amazing.
Yeah.
She's a really good player, and you know that she won the ladies event in Norway. Yeah, the Norwegian Championships.
Absolutely, and you can see why. She really took the bull by the horns in the heads up. She was such a tough opponent because she was raising very aggressively, making life very difficult from Finnish Linda, and it all seemed like it was only going one way. Here we do have a collision here between Rasmus. I don't think he's going to be able to get away from these eights. Only 700 left. So it's just 5.5 big blinds for Dimitri, who once again finds a key hand in a key moment. The Estonian hometown favorite does have the bullets, and that's what you want in an all-in confrontation with 7 left, playing for 55,000. Are we going to see an 8?
Then I don't have too many.
One is folded, so there's just one.
And there's the ace, so just the backdoor straight draw now for the eights. No running quads available. And that's going to be the job locked up on the turn. Dead on the turn is Erasmus from Finland, unfortunately. And Dimitri is up to 2.7 million, so a small hit to Rasmus. He's still got a playable stack of about 12 big blinds, but certainly not what he was hoping for.
No. Wow, he made like an uber full house.
Yeah, he
double full house.
Just had it all covered.
Yeah.
And there you see Phil at the top of the rankings, no surprise with his aggression. Has been stealing a lot of pots pre-flop with these all-in moves, putting a lot of pressure on these stacks that are really jumbled together between 7 and 19 big blinds now. So can we see Phil capitalize on that momentum in his sales, or are we going to see someone rise from the ashes and mount a fight?
I can understand that. Like, when you look at it, how close they actually are.
Yeah.
I mean, compared to if you look at it like in big blinds, I kind of understand that they're waiting for a better hand than
exactly.
Like
so this
sixes
and the ace
eight,
jack.
Yeah,
you can call off there, but let's say if Phil shows you 10-9 suited, it's just such a lot of equity, you know. So it's like, even though I think that my hand is best, do I really want to rumble? And often the answer to that is no.
No. And now he picked up ace king suited.
Exactly. And he didn't need any kind of hand on the button there.
No.
I think he'd have opened even just one card there, the way he's been playing. So ace king will be certainly one that he likes to see. And he's up to 5.3 million now. So, you know, just picking up the blinds is 500k. We started this tournament with a 30k starting stack. So 17 starting stacks just for stealing the blinds. Just shows you how deep we are into the business end of things. Ace-5 suited for Rasmus here. Is he going to go for the raise fold? Is he going to go for a jam? Or even a fairly disciplined laydown there? I'm surprised to see that.
Yeah, me too.
Thought he could have gone for the steal there. Min raising off of the short stack would have looked really strong from early position, and he does have to go through the blinds shortly. So certainly some things to consider that maybe he missed out on there. So ace-8 for Tigrans, the Latvian, shoving the button with 1.5 million, and that's going to get the job done. So.
And the thing is, like, when you have an aggressor at the table, it's like if you have like a shorter stack, it's basically all about like looking down on an ace. You have to do something. Like you can't wait for a better hand, or worse, or you can end up in a position where he has already raised and you have to fold your ace. So
it's just not the table dynamic where you can wait and wait and wait and not be punished for it. You are, and now of course another ace, and is he going to find? There you go. So he does get out the way, and the two opportunities. I think one of them at least should have been taken to see some initiative and to sort of try and cement his place as getting that top 3 where it's such a top-heavy payout structure.
Yeah.
If you die now, you're going to miss out on the opportunity of tens of thousands of euros, where taking a slightly more aggressive action would have really paid dividends.
Yeah. And now with the big blind ante, it's like you pay 400,000.
Just swallows you up.
Yeah. It's
a factor that I feel we've seen a lot on these streamed final tables, that people don't really take into consideration, and they wait, and then kind of it's all a bit too late by the point that they've worked out what's happening, because their stack is just being eroded by the structure.
Yeah, we were discussing it yesterday, like, because now when you're like less than 9 or 10 handed, it's like, it's not like when you used to play with regular ante, because then it would, like, each orbit would be cheaper.
Yeah.
And like now, if you have 5 big blinds, no, you actually have 2.5.
Yeah. It's such a seismic shift, isn't it? You know, you've got a little bit of fold equity, and now all of a sudden you have crumbs, and you have no chance to get your raise or your shove through. I think you're bang on the money there. It's very important to be aware of the significance of the big blind ante, and it's something that still seems to be somewhat behind the curve in terms of how players. He's a very cheeky chappy, is our Phil. I've really enjoyed commentating on him. He's one of those guys that just lights up the table. He got a little bit salty when he came in with the chip lead and lost half of his stack.
Oh my God, I love it.
He's giving a little wink to the big blind there.
Yeah.
With his 7 deuce. He really wants to get in there with the 7 deuce, but
they were suited.
Yeah, exactly. But unfortunately, it's not a cash game. He doesn't get the extra bounty from everyone for winning the hand, so he's going to get out the way. And David.
Well, nice.
Yeah, King Queen, and a very dramatic shove.
He picked up something there.
Yeah, he kind of fell out of his chair almost when he was putting the chips in. So I'm not sure how the other players are going to read into that, but they've really got nothing to fight back with anyway, so that's going to be a steal from David by the looks of it.
So, is he even considering this?
I don't think so.
No.
I think he's a very calculated and quite methodical type of table presence, not looking to rush anything, but with the jack deuce there, just simply can't.
He just wanted to.
Yeah. Get a bit of TV time, maybe.
Yeah.
And there is Rupe Tami from Finland.
He's such a good player.
He is. He's just silent but deadly would be my assessment.
Very.
Yeah. And he won the high roller here when we were commentating on him last time out in 2023, 78,000. And his hobby is reading books.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there you go.
Wow.
Someone who's doing a bit of self-development work potentially off the table. That can definitely have a big edge.
Yeah.
Oh, that is brutal. Ouch.
You can see it almost in slow motion.
Yeah, he's like, can I just keep it? The ace of spades exposed on the button for Alexei from Ukraine. And apparently the story behind him is that he's going to be donating a lot of his prize money to the Ukrainian war.
Oh, that's
So
nice.
he's playing for his home country in more ways than just the sort of prestige of winning the event, but also will be putting that money to good use. So that's nice to see. And Phil not going to turn down the king-queen, especially after he's seen an ace folded. That makes that shove even more profitable because you know it's just so much less likely someone's going to wake up with a hand like ace-king, aces, ace-queen.
Ooh.
Although Dmitry in the big blind with ace-10 suited.
But still, like, he's seen that ace.
Folded, exactly.
Yeah.
So he's like, well, what's Phil got then? And I don't think Dmitry is the type of player to call this one off here. There's a lot of shorter stacks. I think David's got about 1.5 million. Phil's giving him a bit of an earful at the moment, sort of trying to negotiate a fold out of him. I think he realizes that that king-queen is up against a bit of trouble here from this kind of tank from the big blind.
I mean, to be fair, if he hadn't seen that ace, it would have been an instant call.
He might have called, yeah, exactly. He might have put those chips in there. Now he's thinking, if I'm up against a pair, I could be up against it. I've got one less out. It's very interesting dynamic because it never happens online, obviously.
No.
One card being exposed.
Yeah.
And so how do you adjust to that? There's really no... There you go, the king-queen, and yeah, just a little bit of a wince there, but it's almost a flip, you know. If one ace is out, it's going to be a 50-50, and that would have been for his tournament life, and Phil would have survived either way. So that's just the power of big stack poker, and now with this blind level catching up where we're on 100-200, the average stack you can see in the back of the screen there, 2.6 million, so only 13 big blinds, and these guys are going to have to do something rather quickly, or it could be Phil just running away with the title here.
Yeah. I mean, since the break, he's been...
He's been in almost every hand, hasn't he? Yeah. Giving them the business.
But it has $500,000 each pot.
Exactly, yeah. And with a 2.6 million average, if he gets 5 shoves through, he's, you know, double average. So it's quite insane.
Yeah.
Alexei, this time his ace doesn't get exposed, which he'll be happy about, and he's going to open it up. Goes for a little bit of added juice, opening into Phil, who's the chip leader in the big blind. So maybe looking to chuck an extra 100K on top. Oh, hello there. Dmitry picks up a dream spot here. Ace-queen versus a late position open. He's going
to push.
Yeah, for sure.
Alexei has to fold.
Let's see if Phil's got anything. Nope, he's out of there, and yeah, Alexei knows that he's going to be up against it here. Ace-4 is, you've never got a hand in bad shape with a hand like Ace-4. You're either dominated or doing okay, basically. So not really the sort of spot that you want to be raise calling on a final table.
No.
And he does get out the way. I think he might feel a little frustrated after that last. I didn't see what his second card was.
No, me neither. I was just thinking about it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he got both of them at the same time, so...
Yeah, that's true. So we didn't see which one was which.
No.
But sometimes it's better not to think about that as dealer mistakes happen. You know, it's just something that was an accident. It kind of hit his hand and flipped over, which is, you know, unavoidable in some ways.
Yeah.
So
about the Queens of Tallinn.
Yes.
It was really nice seeing Marta Porter.
Yeah.
At the final table
The
again.
Lithuanian woman.
Oh,
yeah. She was great energy. She was having an Aperol spritz, you know, finding really aggressive moves, really putting everyone to the test. And she came to the table with a fearless style.
Yeah,
really,
she is.
Yeah.
I mean, I watched her for 4 days straight, and she's fearless.
She's tough.
Yeah, she's really tough.
Exactly. And yeah, the standard of play yesterday was really pleasing to see.
I was surprised that it was so aggressive.
That was one of the highest level streams I've ever done, men or women.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've commentated a lot, and that was a really high level. And I was saying to my friend Max, we were watching some of the footage back, just that the ladies' game is really taking off. And there's so many women that are coming through now and playing professionally, and talking to Diva. It's been such a great initiative from her, amongst other people, in building that and kind of navigating a path for ladies to, feel more confident coming up through the ranks in a male-dominated situation. So Phil once again taking the dead chips out there, rifling it in with the King 8, and Tigran's nothing to do there. And it's now going to be David from the UK who hits the blinds, and I believe he's only got about 1.6 or 1.5 million, so 400 of that is in play. And you could see his stack there on the right-hand side of the table at the top is dwindling. So it's going to be him and Rupitami who are under a lot of stress here. Going through the blinds. Tigran's now manages to kind of save face for at least one more orbit, because he knows that Rasmus, Rupe and David are all going through this blind plus ante, and now that's going to be really problematic for them, and we could see a flurry of eliminations very shortly with this kind of dynamic. So interesting spot here. Queen 10 suited, 8 big blinds. Does he take it? He elects to maybe someone else can fight with one of the short stacks. The benefit of folding, I guess, is that he allows someone like...
So Rasmus' strategy is to fold himself.
I think so, yeah.
Like to...
Yeah, Rasmus has missed a couple of spots, in my humble opinion, and I feel like his game plan is just to make ladders and just hope for the best, basically.
Yeah.
So Tigran's does go for the shove with the Queen 9, but David wakes up with Big Slick in the big blind. What a dream situation here.
Yeah.
About as good as it gets. 71% equity. And his opponent is Queen 9 offsuit, doing extremely well against that. But, of course, disaster can come. Let's see if he can fade it. Oh, it's just a dream board. Ace, 5-3.
No hearts.
Not even a backdoor straight draw for Tigran's here. And that's going to lock up the job on the turn. Dead on the turn is the Latvian, and he's going to be down to a rather paltry 295k, just under 1.5 big blinds at this stage. But the only benefit is that he now has the button, and he's going to have 5 hands before he's forced in, so he could potentially hope for some kind of big collision, but it's looking like it might be difficult. Tigran's heartwarming story is that he's going, if he were to win the tournament, he was going to send his mother on her dream vacation.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Unfortunately, the chances of that are now rather slim, but let's hope that he can find a way back in.
Yeah. Oh, that's so sweet.
And color 0 for me, please.
I love, like, that's why I'm not too big of a fan of like doing hand by hand history when I write. I like catching up, like those heartwarming, deep stories. Yeah.
Yeah. Rather than this guy opens, he calls, and they check bet whatever. Yeah. It's
exactly.
It doesn't quite capture the essence of the room in some ways.
No, and like, to be fair, like when the tournament is over, I mean, I wouldn't go back and read. Oh, he busted with ace king versus tens.
Yeah.
I would read like a story about someone, and that story lives on.
Yeah, what they're playing for, what their motivation is, what they're going to do with the money. Is there any kind of benefit to the greater good that they're doing? So Phil taking a little time off from his relentless pursuit of that ring. And it's David who's going to go for a rather unorthodox raise. Makes it 500, which might allow Rupe to come in here, taking his price in the big blind. He does fold, though.
Yeah.
He's thinking maybe that looks a little bit strong, in his opinion, because he would expect David to just play mostly all in that situation. So, yeah, you do have to kind of assume, why is he min-raising instead of shoving? I guess it does look a little bit stronger, and David did indeed have a hand that he would never fold versus a short stack there at the King-Jack. But a little creative way of potentially getting a few more chips, getting him to defend. So we have Tigrans, Rupe, and then we have the Finnish player coming into the big blind in the next hand. So things have been rather patient, and it's been somewhat of a chess match with everyone just not, thinking moves ahead, not wanting to bust. But now, unfortunately, the structure is very much caught up with that, and Rasmus also on 1.8 million. He's going to have just 1.3 million after the blinds. Dimitri, interesting spot. Yeah, I think that's a good fold because he's got a pretty healthy stack, but there's so many short stacks. He knows that Phil is going to take this spot rather wide and put pressure on them. So I think sevens is a good fold there.
With Phil behind.
Exactly.
You're right.
You risk a real disaster. Like coming seventh here with these three short stacks would be a real sickener. I don't think he'd fold.
And especially with Tigrans is
so
automatically all in.
Yeah.
No, he wasn't automatically all in.
He's on the button, so he's just going to kind of wait and hope that someone picks up a calling hand behind and he can maybe ladder up.
Yeah. It's such an interesting dynamic.
It is, yeah. It's very, very tricky, very gritty. You've got to kind of hang in there and just play the stack that you're dealt. And Tigrans has been the one player that unfortunately it's not worked out for him, but he's been fearless. When he had spots to go all in and pick up chips, he's taken them, which you can't say for some of the other players that are actually having a bigger stack than him at this stage. So that's just the way the cookie crumbles, I guess, sometimes.
Yeah. Well, I guess I was surprised because I'm normally the aggressor at the table.
Yeah.
No matter
You
what.
like to
Even if like here, I would be the aggressor too, no matter which.
So your game plan is all about taking initiative and sort of flipping the table in some ways, making sure that you're the one that can take down all of the pots. And if people are playing a bit tight, then happy days, right?
Yeah. I'm more of like, being the table captain than.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that heartwarming story of his mother's dream vacation could be back on the road here as the aces are found and his short-term patience is paying off.
Wow.
He's folded a couple of marginal situations, the queen 10 in the last hand. Some people might have just flicked it in there with the 1.5 big blinds, but he waits and he finds the dream spot. Aces versus ace 9. You can't really be much more of a favorite.
No, especially one of the nines was folded.
Oh, was it really?
Yeah.
Ooh. So an 8 could be a sweaty card. He's saying, come on, bring me the 8. No, dead on the turn. And Phil, at least he's taking that in good spirits. He only loses 1.5 blinds and he's still got the overwhelming chip lead. So it's really not that big of a disaster for him. But it's everything for Tigrans.
What do you think the other short stack? What?
They are gutted right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's thousands of euros that they felt like they had one hand on has now been wrenched out of their grasp.
And the thing is, he only needs one all-in and no callers to be back at it.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, look at it.
There we go. And now he's kind of joined that peloton at the back of the pack on 6, 5, and 5 big blinds.
Yeah.
Alexei, Dimitri, and David are in that kind of precarious situation where they are healthily stacked, but they've got Phil to contend with. And Phil's going to make their life hell, as we've seen from his style of play.
Yeah.
And so it's very much a race at the bottom between the short stacks now.
But he's not, I mean, he's aggressive, but he's not crazy. So it's all about taking control.
Yeah, he's not going to completely punt it like he's making these folds.
He's not Franke.
Yeah, he's not just jamming any two cards and ordering a round of beers. There's still some scientific kind of calculations being done there. Tigrans now with the nines. Here we go. Back on track is the Latvian man.
Yeah.
Alexei with the queen jack. I don't think he's going to be looking him up here. Just ask for a count.
No. Oh. This is interesting.
Wow, this is close.
He must call.
I think I just think from the way
I don't think he will.
Yeah.
But
I think Yeah, we've got... Now, the issue is, if Tigran's was not in the hand and still super short, he might have folded. But now, he's kind of got to jostle with the other short stack. He knows that Tigran's is going through the blinds in 2 hands, right?
Yeah.
So I think Tigran's is going to take a hand like Ace-9 suited, Ace-8 suited, Jack-10, Queen-Jack. So this Ace-Jack is actually really dominating that range.
Yeah.
And I think that this one would be a sad miss if he does find the fold here. Oh,
wow.
Yeah, it's tough to watch. I'm not entirely sure if it's mathematically correct, but if you're thinking about the fact that with the big blind ante format, that Tigran's has to go through that, and he is the player that's not missing these shoves, I just think Ace-Jack is
But
just too strong.
So now he's in big blind, right?
Now he's going to be on the button, right? Yeah, so he kind of stays alive, but that kind of theme that you alluded to earlier, that he's just looking to make the pay jumps, kind of exemplified in that hand, I would say.
And I mean, it's so heavy, like top 3.
Yeah.
So it's not that big of a difference.
I understand if he's a medium stack and he really thinks that the shorties will bust soon,
Yeah.
fair enough. But he's short versus short.
Yeah.
You kind of have to take your chances with such a strong hand, especially just dominating so much of the range.
Because he had 1.3,
Yeah.
and Tigran's had 1.1.
Exactly. So he's still got a big blind to spin, even if it was a disastrous run out for him. So David is not going to wait around to pay the blinds. He's going to try and steal some of his own. Dimitri folds, and Phil with 4 deuces.
And Roper just folded an ace.
Yeah, I think so. I think he has to wait for spots where he can be the aggressor with the fold equity, I guess.
Look at him.
It's the Phil show here.
Yeah.
It's my new favorite hand.
David, an interested bystander here, watching this. There we go.
I want to play with you all the time.
He's just playing him.
You run up that strong.
14 big blind shove does get through.
Have you seen me play any shit hands?
And by no means a comfortable shove. If you get caught there with the King Jack, you're going to be in a lot of trouble based on what we've seen. But people do seem to be folding a lot of hands, so picking up the 2.5 out there is very valuable.
Yeah.
My pair was good enough.
So we had 621 runners, 71 in the money, and still left with 7 remaining somehow. We've had 7 players for hours and hours and hours. And a flurry of eliminations surely are coming. It's just a matter of time at this stage. The average stack is just 11 big blinds. So David did a good job of staying afloat with his King Jack in the last hand.
Yeah.
He's going to make everyone wait whilst he receives his order or sorts out a little bit of the rubbish on the side. King 9 hits the muck. And Rupe with the 4.5 big blinds makes another tight fold. We've seen him fold lots of spots that...
This reminds me of playing a satellite.
Satellite, yeah, it does feel like a satellite right now. It's like almost there's 7 left with 6 seats or something like that, and everyone's just waiting for someone else to go all in. But, you know, that's not what we're playing. We're playing a tournament, which is a top-heavy structure.
Yeah.
I think you've got to take the initiative and just be prepared to die, and it doesn't feel like the energy around the table is kind of matching that.
No.
So Dimitri takes one down. Would have been wincing if Phil put him to the test, but does get it through.
Try, yeah. Worth a try. Like you said, it's getting
And
expensive.
as you can see, those short stacks just dwindling down even further. We saw 6-5-5, now 5-4-4, and just simply nowhere to hide at this stage.
It's sad when it's like not sad, but it's not
You
boring
can say
either.
boring.
But
You
it's
can say
yeah,
boring.
okay.
It's a very. I mean, these guys are playing for lots of money. They're under the bright lights of the production setup, and it's just so difficult to commit to a potentially fatal error. You know?
Yeah.
And that's kind of what's going on here.
Okay, so Alexei wasn't. I don't think he was that happy looking down on ace
Yeah,
king.
exactly.
To be
It's
honest,
like, just
like
give me
you
an
just
ace.
don't. You just want 7 deuce or aces.
Yeah, because he's exactly easy decisions, right?
Yeah.
He does shove it in. It's obviously a fist pump shove, but yeah, if he runs into a snap call behind, you know, with how tight we've been seeing the table, it's very likely to be a strong hand. David in the big blind there with the 9-5, taking a bit more TV time. Gonna have a little sip of the mug and kind of he's just surprised he doesn't have the newspaper out or something. It's all very casual,
Or a
isn't
book.
it? Yeah, exactly. It's kind of a very casual type of energy from him. Ace king offsuit getting shown to the table as if to say, well, I've got it, guys. Don't call me.
Yeah. Exactly.
Little
That's
bit of a-
exactly what it was.
It was, please don't call me in the future. I've always got a good hand.
Yeah.
Just believe me. It's kind of a psychological little factor.
Yeah.
And it's now going to be the Finn under the gun who's going to be paying those blinds. And maybe that's
So
what
now
was,
Rupe,
that's what was going on.
he will
with-
be down to 3 big blinds.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry. So we have Rupe. Ooh.
Saw it.
Ooh. Did you see that? That's a king.
Oh.
Brutal.
Oh.
Okay, so it's going to be a misdeal.
Oh, so it's a misdeal if they start because okay, so this rule must have changed because
Second
when I used to play poker, well, I still play poker, but then it was misdeal if it showed on the button.
I think what happened was
Same card now, but
it
down.
jumped up on Rupe's hand,
Yeah.
and David has sat so close to him there that he saw a flash of what it was, and he understood that it was a paint card or something like that, which can obviously change the decision. So I think that it was a situation where the card was semi-exposed, and they didn't want to take any kind of chances on that.
Oh, okay.
I think Alexei will fold these sixes here with all of these short stacks, but he looks like he's going to go for the open.
Wow.
Nice and brave.
Yeah.
That's it. That's what we like to see here.
Yes.
Someone taking the initiative. The kind of meta at the table was just folding these spots. But Phil gets out the way quickly, and David in the small blind with King Jack suited. He's not scared of getting in the mix. He's going to peel one off and take a flop. And Rupe here has kind of put himself into this situation. He's missed a lot of spots, in my humble opinion. I could well be wrong. Have a look at some of these ICM sims at some time.
Oh my God! Is he just gonna?
He's going to kind of take his price, I guess. He's getting 250 into 1.8
Yeah,
million.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't.
I
Of
don't-
course, he's.
I don't blame him either.
No, me neither.
Such a good price, and 8-7 can flop all sorts of strong straight draws, and you know, if he flops any kind of pair, I guess he's in, right?
Yeah.
And he flops the bottom end of the gutter. David with middle pair and an open ender, and a swing and a miss from Alexei with those sixes. So Rupe actually can't even hit the 9 because that would improve David to the king high straight. So he's basically dead, and Alexei is going to go for a rather fearless c-bet here.
Wow.
Facing 3 overcards and a small blind range that I think really hits this quite hard. I think a lot of David's flats are going to be hands like Queen Jack, King Queen.
Wow! Look at this.
Yeah, so we've got some action here.
I really like the check from David.
Yep, exactly. Not kind of jumping the gun and leading out in sort of a panic.
No.
Let's see if he gets rewarded with the turn. It is the offsuit 3. So is Alexei going to craft some aggression here? The benefit of that is that he's the only player that can have ace-king, because David certainly would have rejammed that pre-flop. So what he's thinking here is that my opponent is going to have a lot of hands like King 10, King Jack,
All in.
maybe hands like Queen 10. He's gone all in.
Wow.
Wow. With pocket sixes on Queen 10 Jack 3. This has
Wow!
to be the
Now
most...
the short stack is paid off.
Yeah, exactly. And Rupe...
Wow.
Yeah, look at this. Wow, what a move.
Yeah.
What a move. He just correctly assesses that his opponent would never slow play a strong hand on the flop, so he's just going to have a lot of these pair plus straight draw type holdings.
Yeah.
And even if David had king-queen there for the top pair in the open ender, it's so tough to call that one off with all of these short stacks. That is quite a fearless play there from Alexei, just rifling it in with the sixes.
But still, I mean, to be fair, if his opponent would have like ace-king,
Yeah,
he wouldn't just call.
exactly. He'd be all in pre-flop, right? So
Yeah,
he's got the
and-
ace-king advantage. Yeah.
Yeah, and so there isn't. I mean, he doesn't have a straight.
No.
He probably has the hand that he.
Yeah, and even
that he
queens,
had.
jacks, and tens likely to shove pre-flop as well in
Yeah.
some ways. So it's basically he's kind of capped at 2 pair and has a lot of those king, queen, king, jack, king, 10 type hands that have 1 pair and plus a straight draw. So, I mean, that's a insane find. I didn't think he'd find the turn shove there, but that really is one of the biggest showcases of aggression and fearlessness that we've seen so far, and we've dealt with a lot of Phil's aggression. So let's see with the ace-6. I think he's just going to be sending that one in with all of these short stacks. Yep. Continues his assertion on this feature table. David out the way. Everyone waiting for Rupe to bust in the small blind here, and he's put it in with the king deuce, because the benefit of this is that he gets to play for the big blind and the big blind ante.
Yeah.
So he essentially treble up if he wins this hand. And it's going to be king deuce versus ace-6 here, and we have the dramatic lights back for the first time in quite some time, as we have an all-in and a call. So
I'm kind of hoping for Rupe because
yeah, to get him back
I like
in.
him.
Yeah, he's got a deuce,
but
a 6 as well. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
he needs a king or a deuce. Quick time here. We can see he only has 4 of the 5 available. There is the king of clubs, giving him some hope. And Phil might be getting a bit hacked off with doubling up these shorties. That's the second time in a row now that he's shoved into the short stack, and they've found a hand and doubled up through him. So. Still doesn't really dent his stack. He's still got 4.5 million at the 250k big blind, and not even a flicker of emotion from Rupe there.
that guy has a poker face.
Certainly does. On and off the table.
Yeah. I'm gonna do an interview with Aki Pising later on.
Mhm.
He's one of my absolute favorites.
He's a long-term legend of the game, isn't he?
He was so funny yesterday. I came by him and I was like, "Can we do an interview tomorrow?" And he was like, "Yeah, sure." And he told me he was playing the seniors, and he was like only 3 hours in or something. And he was like, "Oh, yeah, break all the time, and they're so long. I guess everyone needs their prostate to be examined."
The self-deprecation is the best type of humor, right?
Oh yeah. And another friend, Patrick Mattsson, he turned 50 last year, but he looks like 25, 30, and so like they checked his ID in the registration twice, and every single one in the tournament asked him, "You know, there is an age limit in this tournament."
That's the kind of banter we love to see around the tables.
Oh yeah.
It keeps the light-hearted energy for sure. Phil.
Oh, and he
in
picks
again.
up a hand.
He's king suited. Doesn't need that much to jam, as we've seen before. But David with the 10s here, and he's not going to be caring about the ICM. He's going for the win.
No, yeah.
And so I respect that.
Me too.
Because David, if he doubles up and wins here, he's going to have the overwhelming chip lead.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be 7.7. It's going to be 5.7 million. So this is the biggest flip we've seen on the feature table here at the 555 WSOP Circuit Ring event. 55,000 up top. And this is going to be the most defining hand so far on the stream table.
This is what all the short stacks have been waiting for.
Yeah, exactly. Their chance. Wow!
Oh my God.
Phil flops a flush in a huge flip, turns him dead, and David hits the rail in 7th after all of that jostling around, all of the short stacks. folding their way to glory. They get the pay jump.
He
that
forgot
they've
his
been
cup
waiting
of
for.
coffee.
I think he doesn't give a flying hoot about the coffee
No.
anymore, does he? That's a shame. But you know what? You've got to respect David. He's not. He wasn't the type of player to sit around there waiting for the pay jumps. He took his chance, and he knew that those 10s were going to be way ahead of Phil's range for the most part. Unfortunate to run into the ace-king. Even more unfortunate to run into the flop flush.
Yeah.
So he hits the
Oh,
rail.
look at this.
I know.
Rasmus, Tigrans, Rupe,
Yeah, these vultures.
they're cheering inside. You can't tell, but they're cheering inside.
They get what they were waiting for, the extra couple of €1,000 for the pay jump. But unfortunately, as we've mentioned, they really have shot themselves in the foot in some ways by really not having much of a chance to play for the top 3 spots. You feel it's going to be rather unlikely that one of them can find the turnaround. But now that they've got that extra pay jump, it's been such a stubborn 7-handed duel. Potentially, they can free themselves up a little bit and try and now push on. Here we go. Rupe is finding the ace-jack. That's the spot that he's been waiting for. He got fortunate to double with the king-deuce there to get that pay jump, and now rewarded for his patience with the ace-jack offsuit.
Oh.
He's going to put in sort of 75% of his stack, and the idea here is if it were to go shove call behind, he might find a way out. So he makes it 950. Rasmus in the small blind with king-8 suited, been by far the most conservative player that we've seen.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen him play a hand since I came.
And he's going to flick it in with the king-8 because he's got the idea that Rupe had in a previous hand where he gets to play for the big blind and the big blind ante, and sometimes he could be ahead of maybe a queen-jack or a jack-10. So king-8 versus ace-jack, so it's a fair fight, but by the looks of the equities we can see from the folded cards, Rupe has a bigger than normal advantage here. And there is a jack-high board, which is a lovely sight for Rupe. Even a flicker of emotion from the
he
fin.
even showed a little smile.
Yeah, a little smirk, and now just the king to fade. 3 outs once for Rasmus to stay alive, and it is the 9, so a flurry of eliminations indeed. After that short stack battle, Rupe is the one that comes out on top, and he's, I'm guessing, speaking in Finnish to his compatriot there. Not sure if he's wishing him well or saying, you know, hit the rail, son, see you later. We'll never know, but he's back in the game here. 10 big blinds. And now second last.
Wow,
and
look at Tigrans.
Yeah, he's in the big blind next hand as well. So this will be a critical 2 cards being dealt in his direction.
But he must be happy though. I mean, he just made 4,000 euros.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe a little bit more. I think he might be getting 12,000. So yeah, so that would be quite a juicy jump, or could even be 13 or 14. We'll have a look at the tournament clock in the background for those payouts. Oh wow, ace-5 suited, the dream from 4 big blinds here.
Yeah.
Surely going to be going with the hand, of course, just a matter of time.
Is this Hollywood or... Oh.
Yeah, he's going to put in half of his stack by the looks of it. I don't know about this in this specific spot because I just think with the clear shorty, we're so committed to the hand anyway.
Yeah.
Raise folding to any kind of action would be a bit of a disaster in my opinion, but he does put in the 3 big blinds instead of the full stack. It's a small
And he doesn't want Phil to call or jam.
Yeah.
So he rather just push.
Just jam and give him a worse price than the big blind, exactly.
Yeah.
But he does get it through. Phil can't do anything with Jack-7 offsuit there. And that's a huge pickup there for Tigrans. He is up to 6 big blinds instead of what looked to be a rather perilous situation before, exactly. So 2 quick eliminations here at the 555 final table, and we are left with 5, and the structure is creeping up on these remaining players as there's simply nowhere to hide. So we did see a couple of short stacks hit the rail, and it's Tigrans and Rupe now who really need to make something happen. Ace-7 for Rupe, 5-handed with the big blind ante. Makes another fold. Oleksiy not going to be getting in the mix here with the Queen-8, you'd think. Haven't seen much from Dmitry recently.
No.
He's just kind of biding his time. And Phil, of course, all in. And
he's picking up hands too.
He is, exactly. It's not like he's just shoving it in with any two. He's just finding a lot of decent candidates to put the pressure on with. Shows the ace. Shows the ace, and Tigrans treating himself to a little water break.
Yeah. How did he find that big bottle?
I don't know.
One of those.
You don't get those here, do you?
No.
You must have brought it from outside.
Yeah.
So 8 minutes remaining on the level, and then things get really spicy with the 150k, 300k level with an average stack of 3.7 million. So current average of about 15 big blinds, but that's going to get swallowed up in around about 5 or 6 hands. Oleksiy with the King-Jack. I think we might see him open here.
Mm-hmm. Played really well.
Yeah, he's been really solid, really aggressive, picked his spots well.
Yeah.
Sixes was an exceptional play. I don't think many people would have found that, but he just nailed his opponent's range extremely with good calculation there. So Phil with the 7-5, not likely to get in, but we do know that he likes to keep people guessing, and 7.7
He might
million.
pop it up though.
He could. I mean, it would be a rather bizarre choice of hand to do it with, but maybe if he thinks that his opponent is just going to fold so much because of these other short stacks, and now we're getting into those huge pay jumps with 5 left. I think we're looking at a 5,000 to 6,000 euro pay jump for each remaining bust out.
Yeah, and he knows that Oleksiy is good enough to fold like King-Jack.
Yeah, some middling kind of hand. And Tigrans here in the small blind, not going to be able to do much versus the under the gun open. And it's over to Rupetami with the aces.
Wow.
And what's your prediction here? Do you think he just plays it slow and calls, or do you think he's going to be all in? Because you could trap here.
Yeah, you could trap, and it's... He made such a small raise. Yeah.
Or just shove. Shoving for the 9 big blinds.
I probably would have called.
I would have called as well, taken my chances. If he flops the dream against me, then so be it. Right?
Yeah.
But the dynamic that you get on final tables.
But Rupe is an online player.
Exactly, he knows probably what to do. But I think that something to consider is that people just c-bet almost every flop on final tables, especially versus the short stack, and put a little bit of pressure on. So I think you do often get a flop bet. And the issue is, with your 9 big blinds, conventionally you wouldn't have fold equity, but in this situation you're going to get quite a lot of folds because you block the calling range with aces. They don't have as many hands like ace-king, ace-queen to look you up, so that's why I would just call. But he chooses to go for the jam, and picking up the chips uncontested is also a big win, even with the strongest hand. It's just the way that the game works, right? You want to kind of deny your opponents from busting you out.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely. So things are thick and fast here at the final table, going to that 150k, 300k level very shortly, with just 15 big blinds average. So anything can happen, and here are those chip counts.
Oh, look at Tigrans. 3 big.
I know. Perilous situation, but he's been there before and he's found a way out.
Yeah.
So he's got to just remain confident and focused and not blast it off, and try and choose a good spot to get it in. Dmitry with the queen 10. Yeah, he's not really incentivized to get involved with the short stack. Phil is not going to pass his queen 10 though. Looking to apply pressure, and this is the beauty of this shove. Once Tigrans gets out the way, Rupe seems to be a very ICM-centric kind of guy, and he knows really well that whilst this hand is a monster, with that short stack there and these huge payouts, he's under a lot of heat here. But he does go for it. Good man.
Yeah. A lot of hands out there to be 500. Everyone had a decent. So
This ICM, everyone is talking.
So Phil, we've seen a 10 folded as well, so he's run into it here. And Rupe, it's by no means an instant call on a final table with the short stack in there, looking for the ladders, but he does find it, and he is going to be well in the lead. But now, the emergence of a jack. Ooh, that's a 9, so sweaty river card for Rupe. Needs to fade the jack or the 10 to stay alive. There's the ace. Top pair, happy days.
do we see a smile?
I think I saw a flicker of a grin on the turn. There we go. Yeah, just kind of letting out all of that tension in the body that was kind of mounting when you're just sweating your own fate watching that all in. And the great thing about taking that spot for him is that now, when he calls and wins, he becomes the chip leader.
Yeah.
And what a turnaround from him. He was so patient with his 3, 4, 5 big blinds. Missed a couple of shoves that maybe you or I would have taken.
Yeah, but that's why he is at final table
Exactly.
and we're here commentating.
He knows that he can turn it around.
Yeah.
And some fortune, but also a lot of skill in that as well. And he's managed to turn it around and be at the top of the rankings now with 6.9 million. Phil, he's certainly been a player that hasn't backed down from this type of situation. And unfortunately, when you play that style, you do occasionally run into some big hands and have to double people up. And it's the third all-in situation in a row where he's come out on the wrong end of it.
Yeah. He's been unlucky. He's been playing really well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, really.
Fearless. And that's why he's lost the last 3 all-ins, but he's still second in chips because he's just fearless enough to take down all of these the dead blinds and the dead money.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting to see now when Rupe is the chip lead and Phil is like, he has 17 big blinds, Alexei 13. Like it's going to be interesting to see if he continues his aggressor.
Is Phil going to still kind of chuck it in there, kind of with any kind of half decent hand, or is he now going to respect the chip leader on his left and kind of play ball a little bit? I'm not sure. King 6 obviously not much of an indication in either way for us, but let's see how things develop. That is an interesting storyline.
And Rupe, he's probably going to be...
Yeah, he's just going to work out what the stacks are behind. I think Alexei has around about 4 million, which is sort of 17 bigs. He's going to shove with his A7. So now Rupe playing the role of the bully and putting all of the short stacks to the test. Dmitry, nothing can be done there with the Queen 4 suited, but a bit of a panic-stricken look on it across his face there as he realizes that he's been playing the waiting game now and it's starting to take its toll.
Yeah. He's playing the Internet Pro ABC poker.
Yeah, the ICM
Yeah.
folds and looking to make the pay jumps.
He's playing textbook.
He is, he's not really done anything wrong. He's just he's just unfortunately not picked up any strong hands for a couple of orbits, and it's really, it's been something that you can't really control. You just have to stay patient, as we saw from Rupe, who managed to stay in the game with, absolute crumbs at one stage.
Yeah.
But he spun it up and he's got the chip lead, and now all of a sudden he's the one taking all the initiative. So Tigran's here, easy shove under the gun with the Queen 10 suited. He might do his fancy kind of 3x that we've seen before.
Seems like it.
Yeah, sort of keeping his options open if the table goes absolutely crazy. And that's exactly what he's going to do. So he makes it, what is that, 600, something like that? 800, okay, so he leaves...
Just 165 behind.
Yeah, exactly. And what's Phil got in the big blind? Looks kind of semi-interested here. It is less than 4 big blinds with an ace versus a player that's going to be going through the blinds in the next hand. And he is going to go with it. There we go. That's the Phil we all like to see. He's just fearless in these spots. Not going to let go of the ace. And correct in his assessment here, as he does have 57% equity versus the Queen 10.
I'm always rooting for the underdog, but I really want Phil to win this.
Yeah.
To be honest, like he lost every single all-in situation.
Oh my
God!
Look at this. It's just. Is it too many outs?
Yeah, it's definitely too many out syndrome.
There's a jack. So all of a sudden, Phil takes a slender lead going into the river. Ace high versus the Queen 10 of diamonds.
Yes.
And there is the ace. He manages to fade the absolute world. It was too many out syndrome for Tigrans, who unfortunately had that heartwarming story of playing for his mother's dream vacation. I'm not sure if 5th place is going to be enough, but regardless, he played a solid game. The online pro from Latvia now transitioning into live poker. Looking forward to seeing more of him at the upcoming events.
I'm happy for Phil.
Exactly. He deserved one, didn't he?
Yeah, he really deserved one.
He's really been someone that's taken the final table by the scruff of the neck and just didn't get any reward for it whatsoever.
No. And he's been putting maximum pressure on the others, so and it hasn't paid off until now.
But finally, he does get that pay jump and also the much needed elimination. So every player remaining has locked up 17,600 euros, playing for an eye-watering top prize of over 55,000 euros, plus the entry into the WSOP Champions free roll next year in Vegas. And Phil back in the mix here with the 8-6. We've now hit the 150, 300k. So blinds are up. Rupe has the chip lead with Jack 7 offsuit. Is he going to isolate this in position, or is he just going to take a check back? Goes for the second option.
Oh, no diamonds.
No diamonds, so it's going to be a question of who wants it the most.
Wow, check, check.
Check, check. So some honest poker being played.
Yeah.
And Phil with a little bit of table talk, maybe trying to buy a free card there.
I'm surprised that Phil, because he's an aggressor,
Yeah,
that
he's
he
the
didn't
sort of
bet
guy
the
I
turn.
just thought he'd have had a wild
Yeah.
stab at it, but he does get rewarded with the 6, and it's all
Yeah.
coming up trumps for Phil here, rivering his opponent and finding 2 pair there. And these 3 big blind pots, whilst they may not seem significant, that's a real momentum shifter, because if Rupe won that, he's quite a significant chip leader, and instead Phil cuts into that deficit.
And look at that smile.
So thank you very much to Lina for joining us. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
All the best, and all the best with the reporting. Looking for not just the hands, but the stories behind what's going on across the room.
Yes, it's gonna be a nice week.
Absolutely. So I look forward to seeing you in the booth later on in the week, and I'm joined once again by Tele. Here we go. How are we?
How are we?
Are you salty about losing the bet yesterday? Or?
I am,
Yeah.
and I saw the song choice by you that I have to sing in the karaoke bar. Let's say I'm surprised. You kind of seem like an evil genius with that choice.
Yes, I'm not going to spoil it on air, but we do have a rip-roaring novelty song that's going to come on in the karaoke bar later on this week.
Yeah.
For a little bit of background info, we had a bet on the ladies' champion yesterday, the Battle of the Lindas, and
I lost.
You did.
Okay, George, what's going on? I haven't been too updated in this final table. Been running around the festival area.
Yep. It's been a short stack battle, really, and Phil, who's in your middle of the screen there, has been mostly the big stack bully, playing very fearlessly, aggressively. It hasn't totally worked out for him, but he's lost so many all-ins, but still has second in chips. So it just goes to show that aggression pays off in this game. We've seen a lot of the short stacks fall by the wayside. They were kind of hanging around, looking to make a little bit of extra money. But we're left with 4 remaining players, and one of them an Estonian.
Oh, really?
Absolutely,
Who's
on the left of the screen there.
Oh,
And he's been playing a little bit on the tighter side, but he hasn't had much to work with, so let's hope that he can battle back. Phil is going to go for the raise here, makes it 600 with his Queen 10 offsuit. Rupe out the way, he's the current chip leader. Alexei in the small with the short stack.
Rupe is a very familiar face.
Yeah,
I've
he's
been
always here,
interviewing him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And he has some results to show.
Doesn't give much away.
Nope. A good poker face,
Absolutely.
I would say.
On and
definitely
off the
a
table.
talent.
Yes, for sure. He's always in the mix and always deep in these events.
Yeah.
He won the €3,000 event at the last WSOP circuit here in
I like
Tallinn.
that poker face there.
What, Phil?
No,
Or
Dimitri doing the,
Yeah, he
doing
looks,
like, what is that?
looks
Oh my God, it's so
absolutely disgusted.
hard. Ooh,
I know.
what should I do?
I think the
Should I
pressure has
go?
been mounting on him over the last hour or so. I'm not sure as to his poker background, but certainly a new face in terms of the stream tables, and he just can't seem to hide how much grief he's going through right now. With the ace-4, praying for an ace on the flop, and doesn't find it. Phil flops huge here with the middle pair and the gut shot.
This is what is this like? This is a proper drama school.
I know. And yeah, the snap fold, look at that. It's just, it's grief. It's lots of really strong emotions here. So much money to be played for, and he just doesn't feel like he's had a fair run of the cards over the last couple of hours, really.
And he doesn't feel like hiding his emotions as well.
He doesn't, and I think Phil would have been betting with about any 2 there, just because it was quite clear that Dimitri hadn't changed his panic-stricken look when the flop hit.
So yeah, Phil has been the most aggressive player so
Yeah.
far, as I can see.
Yeah, and it's Dimitri who's been at the bottom of the rankings. But to be fair to him, I've seen all of his whole cards, and it's not like he's been folding like big hands or anything. He's just been getting dwindled down by the...
Ooh, ace-queen.
Yep, ace-queen for Rupe here, with the chip lead, or neck and neck with Phil at the very least.
But the final table started with Phil being the chip leader, right?
Yes, he came in with 3.2 million, which
Okay.
was about 40 big blinds. Lost half of his stack in the first 2 hands, spectacularly, and has battled back valiantly ever since. And he has the Jack-9, and he's not the type of guy that likes to fold his big blind. So we're going to see a flop, which is the first time in quite a while. Actually, the previous hand, so ignore me. But in terms of a significant pot between the 2 big stacks, it's one of the first opportunities we've seen. However, it does come a rather underwhelming 7-5 deuce for Phil's hopes of winning the pot. Rupe very likely to c-bet here. It's a board that doesn't really hit that big blind defend an awful lot. Maybe he's slightly concerned as to Phil, who does defend quite wide. And you know what? This could be an opportunity for Phil to take this one down, but he does go for a rather honest check.
This is a bit, doesn't seem so aggressive.
No, it's the 2 big stacks kind of feeling each other out a little bit. And there is the 9. So Phil allows the opportunity to river top pair, and Rupe is going to be kicking himself here because a very small bet on the flop would have done the job. Disconnected rainbow low board. Very surprised not to see him c-bet there. Maybe he was a bit wary of Phil's aggression and didn't want to get into any awkward situations, but now the situation is indeed awkward as Phil fires out a medium-sized bet. And what is Rupe to do now with the ace high? I guess he's just going to get out the way.
Nope. I think, well, he might think,
Yeah, he thinks that Phil is just taking advantage of the passivity.
Yeah.
Right?
Just giving a bit of his stack away, being very kind.
Exactly, a charitable call there
Yeah.
on the river.
But what do we know about this Phil guy?
About this Phil guy, he's a poker player and a gambler. He plays all sorts of different casino games.
Ooh.
And he's a player. I'm not going to go into it too much because we don't want to promote gambling here, but he's got an edge in many ways more than poker.
Yeah, I've seen him here before, but I don't know his stats so well.
He's only got 2 cashes on the Hendon Mob, and one of those was for 77,000 euros, so he's doing okay.
Not too shabby.
He only turns up for the big events, and when he does, he runs deep. So it's not a bad lifestyle, that, is it?
Nope.
Selective, but gets the job done, and you can see that with the style that he plays. He's rather...
Dimitri is my favorite.
Dimitri.
This is what, actually, if I would be down and emotionally
like a bag
feeling
of,
it,
a bag of nerves.
I would probably show it out as well.
Yeah, let's see if Dimitri can regroup himself and get his head back in the game here, because he's going to need a bit more oomph.
I'm a bit in shock because I think I saw Roope smiling.
Yeah, the rare smile from Roope. I think he's...
This makes my day, brightens up my day.
Exactly.
It's a miracle. No, actually, he's a cute guy, and if you get some good questions towards him, he talks as well.
Okay,
so
nice.
not...
But you've got to pick the right questions, so it's almost like he's kind of reversing the roles in some ways.
You have to find the spot, yep.
Yeah, the onus is on you to...
You have to tickle him.
Yes, exactly, to get
and
the
not
depth.
all have the balls to do it.
No.
But I would go straight and go like, why aren't you smiling? You just won. And then they go like a bit like smirky, like, oh, you're correct. I won.
Oh, wow.
What's that?
This is
all in.
Yeah, that's an all-in. Phil just continuing to put the hammer down on these 2 short, medium stacks, because Dimitri sat there with the super short stack, and he just can't call with the 8s there. It would be suicide with the pay jumps, and that's why Phil is playing his style, because it's so effective and so difficult to play against. Because both of these 2 players there, Alexei and Roope, are very aware that Dimitri is now going to be forced into the blinds with the super short stack, and he only has about 500k remaining in that stack.
Much better than expected, huh?
So tell me about the money.
So the money is 55,000. It's a lot of cash. A lot of wonga. They're going to need a wheelbarrow to take it out if they're getting it in 50 euro notes, that's for sure. And that's why you saw those rather conservative folds with both ace-8 and eights and ace-9 there. Usually in the mid stages of the tournament, you're beating Phil into the pot there. You can't wait to call him off. Now, unfortunately, that large amount of money and the big pay jumps between 4th, 3rd and 2nd dictate a slightly more conservative style. And Phil just continuing to put the hammer down here on these guys. Ooh. And Alexei with ace-jack, I just don't think he can really call, because his opponent has 1 big blind. I know it's crazy, isn't it? But if he doubles, nothing changes. Phil's still the big stack. But if he folds, Dimitri is basically forced all in. And so he takes his chance and hopes for the double, the ladder,
Oh,
basically.
he's all in.
Yeah, so that's why he folds ace-jack. Because he wants the Dimitri from Estonia to bust in this hand, because he's forced all in, basically.
These are pretty rare all-in cards, I would say.
Yeah, the 9-3 suited
and
is not what you're hoping for,
Queen
is it?
6, yeah.
But it is 2
but
diamonds.
Suited.
There you go. Suited
and 2 diamonds
booted.
on the flop.
There we go. So the Queen 6 holding for now, but it's actually an equity disadvantage. 9-3 or diamond. There's a 6. So just a 9 or a diamond now. 12 outs once for the hometown hero, Dimitri.
12 is okay. Let's see.
No.
Nothing.
Ouch. So Phil fades the world 2 hands in a row. He's been all in up against a flush draw with live side cards. Even last time fading the open ender as well, but finds a way to hold when it matters. And now he's going to be the overwhelming chip leader with 3 left here at the 555 event.
Phil seems to have like good energy. Like, kind of like powered up a bit.
Yeah, he's a cheeky chappy as well. He's been smiling, he's been talking, he's very relaxed. You can tell from the body language. Yeah, exactly. It's very loose and very comfortable, and that speaks volumes of someone that's comfortable with the money, but also
I agree.
comfortable with win, lose or draw, basically.
Bring it
And
on.
that's a really key part or key advantage to have on these stream tables under the lights. So much tension, so much pressure. But all players have just made a 7,000 pay jump now, locking up
7,000.
Yes,
It's
7,000
a good
added.
step
It
to
is.
take.
25,000 guaranteed now and 55,000 up top with 36,900 for second. So it's going to be an 11,900 pay jump and then a huge 19,000 or so pay jump between second and first. So down to the final three, Alexei on the button. He might take this spot here because he's going to have to pay the blind and the ante in the next hand, and that would really whittle him down to a super short stack. Let's see if he goes with it.
So Alexei doesn't seem a familiar face to me.
No, he's a Ukrainian, and the story behind him is that he's actually going to be donating some of his winnings to the Ukraine war.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so he's playing for his country in more ways than one, which is very nice.
That's very nice. But has he played a lot or like?
Not sure. Not sure of his
Mm.
background, really. We had the background on pretty much every other player, but I don't think Wise Guy managed to
The
catch.
mystery guy.
Yeah, exactly. We just got that information about his ambition to donate some of the money. So Phil with the Jack 8 is going to allow Rupe potentially to be the one to bust out the short stack here, but it's a snap fold.
And collecting the blinds.
Absolutely a nice little pickup there.
Yeah. A short stack, but still in the game. So
Yeah,
as long as you're in.
Got to stay alive, right? Got to find
Yeah.
those spots to shove it in. It's not going to be comfortable because we are three-handed. You have to play a bit of a wider range than you're used to with eight-handed or nine-handed tables. Just any kind of ace, any kind of decent king, and that's going to be enough. But Jack 2, not going to cut the mustard. Ace 9, though, for Phil. You're going to see him put the max pressure on. He loves to take these open shove spots.
And look at him go. He's just like
Yep.
so bright. Like,
Exactly.
okay.
He's just, radiating in some ways. Yeah. There we go. Another smile. And all smiles for the chip leader, Phil, there. And he's got himself...
Fresh smoothie.
Yeah,
I
potentially.
think that's the answer to his
Maybe
presence.
that is, yeah. That's why he's got such a good energy.
And we never know what's inside, you know.
No, you don't. It could be alcohol or something.
Oh, no,
nefarious
I don't
in
think
there.
so.
No.
If it were alcohol, then the
He'd have
shimmer in his eyes wouldn't be so, clear.
So pure.
Yeah.
Much darker it would be. Absolutely.
So probably it's a superfood something smoothie.
Has he just looked at one and shoved?
Really?
Oh, I love this guy. He looked at the queen and
But
just went
it's
all
a
in.
spot where you have to put some pressure on, right?
Yeah, exactly. But it's just
And it's very hard for Ropa to call.
very hard for Rupe to call. Rupe would have to have a super strong holding with Alexei so short behind. And Phil, I don't think he plays poker professionally, but he has an excellent grasp on the game and he just really understands what he's doing.
So what do you mean by
Well,
that he doesn't play professionally?
Because of his interview. He said that he was, and he only has 2 cashes on Hendon Mob.
So it means he doesn't play regularly, or?
No, I think he does. He has a clear.
But not just pro.
I guess so. Yeah, yeah. Some people want to do other things. I guess it's not all about the poker.
Yeah.
So Queen Deuce for Rupe.
And let's see what Alexei has.
Yeah, he needs something, but 9-4 not going to be it.
Not this time. Not this time around.
Nope. And Phil gets the walk with 10-5, so it's all coming up Phil right now.
Would like to know how many entries we had. I think we doubled up since the last time with the 555. How many? 621. That's a lot. And that's why the first place takes home 55,000. 8-6. Well, nope. That's a fold. Let's see what Phil does. If he's going to look at the cards or not. Oh, he didn't look at them.
Wow.
Or
I don't think he needs to in this spot because he just knows that Rupe is going to have to fold basically
Yeah.
almost everything.
Yeah.
And the situation now is getting so difficult for Rupe because even if he doubled there, he'd be back to level in chips with Phil. So it's not like if he doubles, he's got the chip lead and then he can kind of flip the switch. He's kind of in a similar situation regardless. So now he has to be even tighter. Okay, so Alexa, we have some information.
Professional poker player for 7 years, both online and live. Biggest win live last summer, EBT Barcelona. Oh, mystery bounty, 4th place, 97,000 euros.
Wow, what a score.
And I love the last sentence as well. Like sports and music.
Who doesn't?
Who doesn't?
Keeping it simple. So Phil shoves on the button with the king 8, and here we go. Alexei finally finding something to go with the ace deuce, but we
okay, what's going on?
We saw an ace folded. We saw an ace folded, and so king.
This makes it harder.
It does. It's going to be a stone flip basically. If Phil can find a king or an 8 here, he could have one finger in that ring. Oh, the open ender. So all sorts of outs now. King, jack, 8, 6.
Anything can happen.
Oh, but there's a flush draw on the turn for the ace deuce with the lowly deuce of hearts.
Let's see the river.
It's a 7. Okay, so Alexei manages to avert disaster here, but nothing really changes in the form of Rupe. And actually, yeah, the Rupe is obviously going to be gutted that he didn't get that bubble now, because life is going to get even tougher for him as he's now got to contend with Alexei potentially stealing his second place berth.
Still, nice
double.
Nice little, yeah.
Nice little duck of hearts there, getting the job done for Alexei. And Phil, once again, the commanding chip leader, and very much...
This is a big difference.
Yeah, and this is, yeah, exactly. And with the way he plays and with the fearlessness, he could get the job done rather quickly unless one of these two guys picks up a huge hand. Alexei had to take his chance there with the ace-deuce. Just couldn't afford to wait any longer. And let's see if Rupe has something to fight back with. No.
Not this time. Not yet. I think I have to call in some action, like, come on,
yes.
I want to see something, and then... Now, what is he thinking with the 9-7?
Not sure.
Like...
I think he's just going to fold because he knows whatever he does, if he limps, he's just going to get shoved on. If he folds, then he avoids disaster. If he shoves, it's a bit of way too loose. So, yeah, it's annoying in those situations because 9-7 does have some merit. It's a fairly playable hand, you know, middling, semi-connected. But unfortunately, in this type of dynamic, you just aren't going to be able to play an awful lot. Because Phil is sat across the table smiling at you with all the chips, ready to say all in.
Smirking.
Exactly.
Being very confident.
Very confident, and why not with this situation?
Of course. Yep. And we see...
The queens. And he doesn't even slow down and go for like a min raise or something. He just continues to say, hey, I'm just putting it on, hoping that someone takes the bait. And he is going to pick up a hand from time to time. It is allowed. He's been shoving with hands like King 5, Queen 6, all sorts. But picking up the queens there, no action for him, but he doesn't mind. He's picking up another 2 big blinds. Both players are on 10 big blinds. And if it continues like this, it's not going to last more than 10 to 15 minutes, I would say. That's my guess.
Your guess.
I think Phil is going to wrap this one up. Jack 6 is going to be all in again, and the beauty of this is that we can shove almost any 2 cards because both players are so close next to each other that they essentially just have to pay for the play for the pay jumps. Is he going to slow down? It looks like he's got a little bit of
he is thinking
an obstacle in his mind, maybe. Oh, he does let them
what
battle
is
it
this?
off. I know. Phil.
Phil, what's going on? Should I be worried?
I know. Is he?
Who can I call?
Is he tripping up now? Yeah, Rupe is going to probably shove
Yep.
here. He's going to have to
With
take
the
every
Queen
spot.
9 off.
And Alexei with garbage in the big blind has to get out the way. And now it's once again, even though he just doubled with these blinds and antes coming around quick, the onus once again back on the Ukrainian.
let's see some fight between these three.
Yes, it's rather unlikely, I would say. The most likely course of action is going to be just lots of shoves from Phil, lots of folds from Rupe, and Alexei is going to be the one that has to kind of find a hand at some point. And 6-3 off, not going to do it.
They just have to find a hand and then just fight back.
Exactly. That's kind of the game plan, unfortunately. Phil, who's played such a strong, aggressive style, has earned the right to have this added confidence, as you mentioned, because he's just steamrolled over the table. He's even lost so many all-ins. You know, he's been unlucky in many situations, but
still going strong.
With that aggression, it just pays off. And that's the type of game that can win when you are playing a top-heavy tournament structure with all the money at the top. That's what you got to do. So Alexei finds the king-jack. What's Phil got? 7-5 suited. Not likely to be looking up his opponent here. 8 big blinds. And Rupe also out the way with the queen-8. So a nice pickup for Alexei, and unfortunately for Rupe, now those two are once again neck and neck. So it looks like we're going to have a break in around about 32 minutes, but my guess is that it should and may well be over by then.
I think you're like, what's the word, like
Mystic Meg?
Murphy, yeah, like if you say it's going to be over, it's never going to be over so quickly.
The commentator's curse.
Yeah. Murphy's Law, or
Murphy's
how do you
Law.
say it?
Rupe is going to for sure take the spot with the king-9. You can't pass up on these. There's 2 big blinds out there. We've got a pretty strong holding. But with dramatic effect, sends it in. Alexei once again just not finding anything. And these swings between the 2 short stacks are huge, you know. Rupe gets that one through. He's up to 4 million. Alexei's down to 2.4. They've both had pretty much the same stack to start the hand. So Alexei shooting him a little look there as if to say, oh, man, keep shoving into my blind. I'm not picking up anything. You've just got to stay patient and keep focused on the task at hand.
So funny to see this angle. Like
I know.
Phil looking like on the throne going like, oh, you short ones there.
Exactly. Phil's world.
Further away. Yeah.
We got to kind of glance across the kingdom that waits beneath him.
Kind of enjoying the fight between the short stacks.
Exactly, and you could see the tension on both of the short stacks' face as well as they're kind of jostling for position, and Phil's just laughing.
Don't want to really look at Phil.
No,
you know?
They don't want any eye contact with Phil. I think Alexei will take the spot here with the queen deuce suited blind versus blind.
But you know, handshaking a bit. Did you see that?
I did. It was a little bit of tension there. King 4 usually is going to be a call here. Yeah, for sure. Suited king, blind versus blind with the big blind ante. I don't think we can fold. I know I'm saying that when I can see Alexei has a weaker hand, but think about the types of hands that Alexei's going to jam here. 7-6 suited, 10-9 off, Jack-9 off, Jack-8 off, Queen suited, King suited. So the King suited does very well against that range. And if he doubles Alexei, it's not the end of the world because he still has the overwhelming chip lead and he can still apply pressure on Rupe. So I think I'd probably flick this one in.
2-5-5.
But he's taking a bit of time to just
Certainly
think.
is. You can't blame him.
Yeah.
It's a big spot, regardless of whether he's still going to have the chip lead or not. It's a defining moment on the final table. No, I thought that was, wow, I'm really in the putty in his hands. I just don't know what's going to happen. He's really
interesting to watch.
Spellbinding, isn't it?
Ropa is definitely
He's
waiting for a call.
An interested bystander for sure, right? Kind of.
Can you get the laptop?
Oh.
I wish we could hear him.
Yeah, it would be nice. He's having a good time regardless.
Yeah,
win,
he's
lose.
really enjoying it. Who wouldn't be?
No, he's got the
Really,
rail,
the
he's got
stack lead,
the
everything.
smoothie, he's got the chip lead.
Life's good.
Exactly. It's all coming up for Phil. Whoa!
What?
And he finds the fold.
He does fold.
With a super dramatic fold. Alexei gets away with one there, picks up he really had to work hard for those 2 blinds. That was about a 3-minute tank there where his heart must have been racing, thinking surely he's got a better hand than Queen Deuce if he's taking this long. He did, and he did find the fold, so nice job there from the Ukrainian. And as you can see, with those extra 2 big blinds, he does crucially get back to 7, so still in the fight, but Phil with that chip lead again, 28, 10, and 7. Alexei finds the 9s, hello, and the blinds are up, so it's 200, 400, 400 now. So even more of an important spot for Alexei in the last hand with the Queen Deuce to take it, otherwise he would have been really crippled. Ooh. Does shove, 7.5 big blinds. Phil with Queen 10 suited. What's he going to do with this one?
Another spot here.
Another spot, yeah, it is semi-interesting. Yeah, he really wears his heart on his sleeve, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I think the last one was a clearer call than this, because the issue is that you've got Rupe behind, who can sometimes about 3 to 4% of the time wake up with a big hand that has you pretty crushed, but also Alexei, yeah, he's going to be jamming some worse hands, but his range is going to be a lot of ace, king highs, pairs. Some hands like Jack 10 suited, 10 9 suited will be in there. Potentially Jack 10 off.
So in this spot, do you use your gut feeling as well?
Yeah, so there's
you
definitely
just have to
an
take the risk or not.
I think you can incorporate some kind of live dynamics based on the tension in the body of your opponent. Is that tension remaining, or does it leave the body after a time frame? If it leaves the body, they're usually obviously quite excited about being all in, but the tension goes when you've got a strong hand, and it remains when you're on the weaker end. But I think it's a good fold in the end. I think the King 4 might have been previously the suited version, a call, but I think he made a good fold there with the Queen 10.
And Alexei has done 2 rounds of blind collecting.
Yes, and that's huge. I mean, he's almost doubled his stack.
So how much, when you play, how much do you use your
the gut
feeling?
In the spots that are close, it's really important to go with the gut, I think. In the spots that you've kind of played time and time again, and they're like not solved, but you kind of have a good understanding of that situation, the gut doesn't have much use. So I think it's like a river decision where you're put to the test for your stack is like the key spot to really trust your gut. Based on the timing, based on the actions, based on the mannerisms of your opponent, these things are not easy for the conscious mind to come to a clear decision point, but something in the subconscious is usually kind of whirring to one side or the other, and trusting that and following through on that is very important, because it's your subconscious brain trying to tell you that they know something that you just simply can't compute in the rational mind.
Nice insight.
Thank you.
Thanks for clearing that.
That's how I see it.
Now I know how you play.
Now I'm going to be drawing dead in the staff tournament later in the week.
Oh yeah, we have the staff tournament going on.
Absolutely. So let's
I think
hope that
I played last year and like 4 hands.
4 hands.
I think I started with like 8 big blinds.
Okay, so you late regged it. Fashionably late.
Yeah. Diva.
Absolutely. On brand. Alexei with the 8-7. He's going to go for a sneaky limp here, and he's actually managed to avoid disaster. I'd have been shoving with the 8-7 here, and Alexei manages to limp fold instead. And so Phil picking up a monster in the big blind there. Ace-10, 3-handed, huge hand.
Yeah, Phil definitely has an advantage of being the chip leader in like energy-wise. Because if you're a short, then you're obviously more tensed up, and you go through much more.
Yeah, everything matters so much more because you could be eliminated, whereas Phil knows that it's going to take him multiple hands to be eliminated. So the current situation he's in is just Yeah, unicorns and rainbows, really, isn't it? It's just exactly. He's just floating around in his head, just having the time of his life.
And the other two are just like working hard, you know.
Exactly. Grinding it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Phil's kingdom, but we'll see.
We'll see
if it stays this way, or
or some of the paupers can find their way up the rankings.
Is it going to cut the mustard or not? That is the question.
English idioms on point.
I sometimes listen, you know.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Very observant. And there we get this excellent screen.
Yeah,
this is what we
our
love.
favorite angle.
Yeah, the favorite angle. Phil just playing to the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
As people are, of course, swarming around the table outside the right-hand side of the current shot.
Yeah,
Got
hands
the rail.
gathered.
Exactly. People cheering for Phil. Has he even looked at his cards? I don't think so.
Don't think so.
Nope,
Yep.
but he's just going to be all in. And Alexei and Rupe, they don't look too happy with the situation, but there's not an awful lot they can do, unfortunately. They have a very competent and very aggressive chip leader, and he is not going to let them have any respite.
Do we have a break coming in the game as well?
Yes, I believe in around about 25 minutes.
Just worried about the guys. If they can like manage it.
Yeah, if they can hold in, they're going to implode at some point, aren't they? There's just so much tension.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. It's something I've done on the breaks on the stream table is just go and just wash my face with water, you know, just because I feel so tense and hot under the lights of the cameras. That's actually that glare can really get to you as well. So
do you sometimes scream really loud as well?
What, into a pillow or something?
Yeah.
I don't know. I like Tallinn because outside the casino there's a little bit of a greenland. You can walk around the park and kind of connect with nature a little bit, which is something that you find.
You mean here in Tallinn, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It's amazing. Yeah, so we often go for a few steps, 1,000 steps or so, just get the legs moving and have a little chat. Try and keep it off poker sometimes. I find on the breaks it's quite nice to just kind of
take your mind off.
Yeah, dissociate a little bit. Talk about some, I don't know, football.
Alexei all in with the king 10.
Yep, Alexei is going to take the spot. Phil gets out the way. He doesn't mind the two short stacks colliding. And Rupe is, really short now. He's only got 1.2 million. That just shows how drastic this big blind and ante does have the effect.
Changes
I know.
so fast.
Rupe was the chip leader about an hour ago. He won a big all-in ace-queen versus Phil, who had something like king 9 and held that one. And now it's bad news.
But it makes it more interesting to watch, you know.
It does, yeah. The highs and lows, the ups and downs, the swings and roundabouts. Can
you, like, for 5 minutes, talk only using those
I think so.
English?
Yeah. It's the sort of Cockney rhyming slang. Yeah.
Try it out.
Up the Epsom pears. Up the stairs.
Oh my God. Actually sounds like singing a bit.
Yeah, a little bit. There is a harmony to it. When you watch have you ever been in London in the markets?
Yeah.
Yeah, with these guys that are selling. And
I've been to Camden, I think.
Yeah. And it's a very vibrant atmosphere, isn't it?
Yeah, I loved it.
And these are the type of guys that have that gift of the gab. They just talk with such fluency, and they're very captivating. And obviously, that's their job as market sellers. But it's a great energy to be around.
So you go there for a tiny little bit of inspiration.
Yeah, maybe for my commentating
Before,
job.
Yeah.
Alexei in the small blind folds. He knows how short Rupe is now, and wasn't going to get that one through either. Phil waking up at the ace-8, doesn't have to do anything with it, just collecting the small blind. Happy days for him.
It is like the king on the throne, collecting all those taxes,
Exactly, yeah. Just
everybody bringing in those,
Yeah, everyone working hard, and he gets the lot.
2 big blinds. This is serious.
This is
I would
serious.
say.
This hand is actually a key hand for Rupe now. He hasn't had much to work with, and he's been an unfortunate.
Ooh, Alexei finds an ace jack.
Is he going?
This is
he shoves.
No question at all.
Yep. Just praying that Phil folds here.
Ooh.
Wow. Does Phil call it off for the tournament? Because Actually, Rupe would fold because Rupe has one big blind behind if Phil were to call. So this is an interesting spot, and you can see the king on his throne looking over his mercenaries there, thinking...
A hard decision to make.
Exactly.
What should I do?
Which one of
with
you
my
am I to
kingdom?
bust first?
Yeah.
It's you there, sir. Call.
Sire.
Sire. So 10-9 suited. It's by no means an easy fold. I can kind of see what he's getting at, because even if he doubles Alexei, Rupe's going to be so short and he's going to get the next few shoves through anyway. So it's kind of like, do we gamble here? Really tough spot. I don't know the mathematics on this one. I feel like you do just fold because Alexei's shoving range is going to be so tight. And by that I mean he's not going to take this spot wide, because if he were to get called by Phil and Rupe folds, all of a sudden he loses out on that 17,000 jump. So Alexei is going to have a very strong hand, even though it's only three-handed here, which I think that should be factored in. 10-9 of clubs, though. It's such a pretty hand.
It is.
It just looks beautiful. You just feel like, how can I possibly miss the flop with this hand? I'm going to have at least some kind of straight draw.
You must be so strong.
Phil is not enjoying the situation. Wow, Alexei there is almost falling off of his chair. It's so tense.
But he can't give out any information because
he can't. I mean,
there's
the
Rope
chips
as well.
The chips do the talking, right? He's all in, so it's like, you know what, buddy? I don't tend to talk in these situations. I just allow the person.
Like nothing. You're not going to do some reverse psychology kind of thingy, no?
It's risky. It's risky. What if?
Yeah, of course.
You never know how you, unless you've got a really good idea of someone's personality and the type of things that you could say that could influence their decision. You're really taking a shot into the dark, and you don't want to, you know, lead him down the wrong path and then bust out. So he does call, and Rupe now is going to fold with this 245 behind, or is he going to flick it in?
This is sick.
He's going to fold.
Yeah, fold. Okay, let's see.
Rupe had Queen
Finally
Jack, right?
some action.
Yeah, some action indeed.
Dramatic lights.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Right on cue. Ace, Jack, offsuit, and this is the defining hand of the tournament, because if Phil wins with the 10-9 here, Rupe is sat there with less than one big blind, and this is...
I don't even know who I'm railing for, but railing for the...
I'm enjoying the show.
Yeah,
let's hope that Alexei holds.
The flop is King 3.
Yeah, rather anticlimactic.
Let's see the turn.
It's a deuce, no draw, just the 10 or the 9. Remaining, and he's trying to summon it.
Yeah.
No.
Well, I'm kind of happy.
Yeah, we're enjoying
for
ourselves.
Alexei.
Yeah, he took the brave shove.
Yeah. And you know, for a good cause as well.
Absolutely. That money is being put to good use for his fellow compatriots in Ukraine. The story behind Alexei is that he will be donating some of his winnings to the Ukraine war.
I actually like his shirt.
Yeah,
it makes me
fancy.
think that maybe I should wear like Estonian national clothes tomorrow. Like
Yeah.
full on like
Is that
costume.
like the traditional style?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Like an old one. I actually did a TV show where I had to like travel the world.
Okay.
Wearing those like Estonian old national clothes. They look really cute.
Wow, yeah. I've been to this restaurant. It's the traditional one. The Hamza?
It's kind of different, yeah, Olda Hansa.
Yeah.
Where you can eat bear meat.
Bear meat? Wow,
Yeah.
I didn't know that
You
was on
didn't
the menu.
know?
No, I didn't see that.
Come on, it's like the
main
legendary.
dish.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll have to try that out next time.
But I think Phil has been eating some bear meat.
Yeah, he
because
looks
he's
strong.
So, yeah.
Red meat for breakfast, potentially. Yeah. Just raw.
Not just red meat.
Yeah.
Bear meat.
Bear meat. That's the key one.
And then a super smoothie and you're good to,
Yep.
good to go.
And he's just hoovering up the chips. Right, so Jack 4 versus a Jack 9 here. Lots of opportunities for a chop.
Okay.
The 8, the 5, or the 4 for Phil. There's the 9, so a double up for Rupe here. He's got back to 1.1 million, and he does have the button as well. The benefit of him folding the last hand is he allowed the chance to get that pay jump, but also the next hand he can put it in with any two and play for the big blind ante. So he actually, with 295 left, has made it up to 1.1 million with that double. So nicely done, sir.
Yeah.
I got no big blind. I got no big. You had more than a big blind?
No, but it is correct.
A long fight.
I have
I only pay
6, 7,
Long fight
5,
indeed,
4,
and it continues into the evening here.
75 and under.
As Phil has received a little bit of resistance in the last couple of hands. Took a bit of a gamble with the 10-9, didn't pay off. Now he's doubled up the shorty, but that didn't really change much because he only lost one big blind.
Yeah.
So he won't be too disheartened by that, but it's more that it's quite easy in Phil's situation now to get a little bit, careless. Got to still stick to the task at hand, keep driving the aggression.
Yeah. Keep your focus.
Exactly. You're doing well. So 200, 400. 400, and it's Rupe on the button, and he's very likely going to be all in this hand.
Let's see what he has.
Oh, 3 deuce.
Do you like this hand?
No, I do not. That is about as bad as it gets.
It is.
Alexei naturally finds a fold as well.
But if it were suited, would it change anything?
I don't know. It looks prettier when it's suited,
3.
right? Deuce 3.
I don't know.
That is
Still don't think.
It's a bit of a kick in the teeth, isn't it? You're you kind of sat there thinking, God, just give me something to work with. Any queen, any jack, any 10, it's all in. But the deuce 3, that's a real
Any of the
sickener.
pictures, yep.
Yeah, and now he's got to really hope to gamble here in the big blind.
Phil is just like doing the, how do you say it, like blinking the eye towards the fan hordes.
Like winking at the
crowd.
winking. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. He's enjoying every minute of it, and
Yeah.
why not? Yeah, things are looking up for Phil here. It's going to be
Ace 4.
Oh wow, that's a huge hand versus a 3 big blind.
And folding.
What?
You sure? But
Does he want to keep the short stack in? Is that what he's doing? I think what he's trying to do is keep Rupe in so that he can apply more pressure to the other stack. But I'm not sure with ace 4. Like, I would fold like some trash there, but like it's such a good hand. Yeah, that's that's puzzling. I didn't expect to see that fold. Wow.
maybe it is something stronger in that smoothie.
Yeah.
It didn't seem logical to me
It didn't.
right now.
No. I understand the logic of trying to keep the short stack in so that he could apply more pressure to the other guy.
Yeah.
But not with ace 4, like maybe with 7-4 or something. You're like, all right, mate, just take your blinds back.
I can actually ask later. I would definitely want to know.
Yeah, ask. That's a really important question. If he does end up winning the tournament. So Phil, why did you fold the ace 4 there? Was it something about wanting to keep the short stack in, or?
Yeah.
Let's see what he has to say.
Okay, we have an all-in now. Let's see how it goes.
Yeah, Jack 8 versus King 3. Not a classic confrontation on the final table, but it's in. And there is the 8. Yeah, so Rupe has been like a cat with 9 lives, but he's going to need a king very quick time here. And it's a 6. So looking pretty desperate for the finish.
So the river to go. Let's see.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my God. It's a king.
He finds a king out of absolutely nowhere. Wasn't expecting that one to come that time. And now Phil is thinking, why did I give him the walk with the ace 4? I could have had this guy out of here. You know, this is the danger. If you do double him up a couple of times, if Rupe doubles up once more, he's now the chip leader. So, yeah, that was one of the most peculiar folds I think I've ever seen, actually.
In your life?
Yeah. Yeah, in my entire existence. Wow. I understand the logic to it, but I just... Yeah. I'm just going to say at the time, I just think that it's too strong of a hand to pass up there. Wow. So anyway,
Rupe back in the game.
Rupe back in the game. All of a sudden, he really does.
Being on 1 big blind or 2 or.
He's an absolute short stack battler. This guy, you just can't seem to get him out of there. It's like hanging around like a bad smell, you know. Just
can't get rid of it.
Can't get rid of it. Can't hide from it. It's just there. So 3.5 million for Rupe now after another Herculean short stack effort, finding a way to get back up the rankings. Well, not quite, but still third in chips, but, you know, with a real shot at it now.
Yeah.
And now Phil is actually not in danger, but, you know, if Rupe gets a double up or one of the other guys gets a double up, he's going to lose that chip lead.
Yeah, and for Phil, like, he's been all in like 4 times, 5 times, and none of the times.
He's won twice out of 6, I think.
Yeah.
From my knowledge.
Ace-9.
Alexi looks interested. Ace-5 though versus Rupe here. I don't think it's going to go. Nope. Phil with King-Jack. I think he's going to... Wow, I think he's going to get this one in, you know. This is close.
I think he said all in, no?
Yep.
Mm.
Yeah, with the big blind ante, I don't think
2
we
hands
ever
in a
fold the
row.
King-Jack. And if Rupe doubles here, this would be one of the most spectacular short stack to hero stories I think I've ever commentated on.
Let's see.
He's been so short so many times. I think 4 times he's been down to 1 big blind or 2 big blinds. Yeah, just finds a way. There it is, though. King, Queen, 5. Rupe with the backdoor flush draw, but it's not playing as Phil has the Jack of Spades, so he needs an ace. And it can't even be the ace of spades now, so diamond or club.
Look at Ropa being so chilled and happy now.
I think he thought he was going to find another miracle river, but not to be this time. Phil gets that crucial elimination that he's been so desperate for.
Good game.
Good game indeed, and we're going to go to the heads-up match, so we're going to shore things up and get everything under wraps here. A little bit of admin work for the team, getting those chips across the line. And wow, what a match.
Glad to see the Ukrainian guy in the heads-up.
Absolutely. So we get the break now coming in. The Ukraine finally gets there, donating a lot of his money to the war effort. So it's a lovely story behind him. And Phil, it's just been all Phil. The show, the sort of charisma, the energy at the table. Really looking forward to this heads-up match. And we're going to be back very shortly with the continuation of the 555 ring event. See you then.
See ya. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's day 5 here at the WSOPC Tallinn 2024, and we've reached the halfway of the festival. And today was nothing short of spectacular. Before we get into it, though, we want to congratulate our champion of ring event number 4, 350 euro PLO 4 and 5 progressive bounty, Aki Pysing from Finland, who walked away with the ring and 6,300 euros. What did it take you to win the tournament?
Just to be very lucky. It's very important to be born on Sunday.
Ooh, that's the first one. I haven't heard that before, and actually I think I was born on a Sunday, so I have a chance?
Yeah, I should consider giving up the interviews and starting playing poker.
How did you prepare yourself for the final day?
We played all day through, so I prepared for the final table. I ordered a double vodka and soda.
How did you celebrate, or are going to celebrate it?
Well, I celebrated it. I went to the hotel room and woke up my spouse.
Said, I won!
Yeah, and then we had a cognac and then we went to sleep.
The long-awaited 1,500 euro main event kicked off today with Flight 1A in the morning and Flight 1B in the evening. The anticipation was palpable as players took their seats, ready to compete for the most prestigious title of the tournament. Downstairs in the casino, we hosted a lively meet and greet, complete with a surprise performance from our in-house band. It was a great chance for players and fans to mingle, relax, and enjoy some fantastic entertainment. After which we kicked off the 150 euro No Limit Hold'em special, where our celebrity guests took part in and had a bounty on their head. We also had the ladies meet and greet, which included a ladies only free satellite event. This was a fantastic opportunity for our wonderful ladies to connect and compete. Alongside this, the highlight of the day, the €250 no-limit hold'em Queen's Ring event commenced its final, with the winner set to walk away with the coveted WSOPC ring and a top prize of €5,500. The final table battle was intense, as none of the ladies wanted to give up the ring and the prize. Play lasted for about 5 hours before the heads-up battle commenced, and it continued until...
Jamming it in, and here we have it.
At least it's a no in the call, but it's Linda from Finland. She's ahead, of course, with the ace-deuce, so might be the big double up for her.
Could be. She's faded disaster and managed to be quite lucky in these all-in situations. She's won her previous 4 all-ins, I believe, as the short stack. Is she going to continue that run?
You're going to miss for both. Still ahead, well ahead with the ace-deuce.
Oh, there's a jack on the turn.
Big change. Now, Linda from Norway. Oh, there we go. We have our winner in the ladies event. WSOP Circuit event in Tallinn. Ladies event, the ring winner is Linda from Norway.
So you are the one taking home the fabulous WSOPC ladies ring. And I saw the battle, it was pretty tough. What do you think was your advantage in the heads-up game?
First of all, I was lucky. I had great cards. Maybe a tiny advantage that I'm not afraid of losing.
Yeah, I saw your play. It was really good to watch. You were being really brave. But was there a moment in the game when you almost saw the ring on your finger?
To be frank, I knew it was gonna be mine when we were like 4 people left.
4 left.
Yeah.
Nice. Really?
Is that okay to say that?
Why not? It's being honest, you know. Congratulations to our deserving winner. Finishing off the evening, we had the €555 no-limit hold'em day 2. Players fought tooth and nail to reach the final table, which will be streamed live on Wednesday. And that's all for day 5. There's still plenty more exciting poker action to come in the second half of the festival. Good luck to all the players, and let's keep the momentum going. Welcome to WSOP Circuit Tallinn 2024. My name is Dela Vira, and I'm super excited to be your host for the next 10 days. From the moment the doors opened, the tables have been packed with a diverse mix of seasoned pros and eager amateurs, all trying their luck. The atmosphere is electric, with poker players from different countries coming together to compete in 53 different tournaments. Today marks the beginning of what promises to be an unforgettable series of tournaments, with everyone aiming to make their mark and take home one from the 12 WSOP Circuit rings. The opening event, the €250 no-limit hold'em tournament, has already seen some thrilling hands and bold moves, setting the stage for an epic festival. So stay tuned as we bring you all the highlights, unforgettable moments, and behind-the-scenes action from the WSOP Circuit Tallinn 2024. Get ready to witness poker history in the making, right here in Tallinn. Hi guys, it's day 2 here at the WSOP Circuit Tallinn 2024. I'm here in the beautiful Old Town, so if you guys have breaks during the games, you can come here and enjoy it as well. We started the day off with the WSOPC €250 no-limit hold'em flight 1C, which saw an impressive 185 entries. Players battled it out through intense rounds, and many have successfully bagged their chips for day 2. It's shaping up to be a highly competitive event. Next up, we had the €350 no-limit hold'em progressive bounty. This event reached 123 entries and provided some exciting bounty action. Players were not only aiming for victory, but also hunting each other for those extra sweet rewards. Later in the day, we introduced the €250 open-face Chinese pineapple event, which, by the way, is my favorite. This unique game brought a fresh dynamic to the festival. As the evening rolled in, we hosted another flight of the WSOPC €250 no-limit hold'em, Flight 1D. The enthusiasm continued with more players joining the battle, aiming to secure their spots for day 2. That's a wrap for today. Stay tuned for more updates and highlights as the WSOPC continues. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Some more outs. He does find the gut shot, so a 9 or a 7 will save him's tournament life. Otherwise, we have the winner in Mikko Ylimäki. Is it gonna be a 9 or a 7? It's a king. Both players hit the river, but it means that Mikko Ylimäki is our winner. Congratulations, applause. King. Oh, and this might be it. Now, yeah, shipping it in, and of course, we'll receive an immediate call without outs. Mantas Talonlevicius is all in, but this is the bad news for him. Edgaras Kaučinis has already sealed the title. It's over before the river falls, because Not Straight for Edgaras Kaučinis has sealed it. Huge congratulations to our winner of Kings of Tallinn main event 2024.
I'm so excited because this guy here is going to teach me how to play deuce to 7 triple draw. It's very hard to even pronounce, so I'm hoping you have some magic tricks to teach me so I can go to the tournament and win it.
All right, no worries, Stella. Thanks for joining, and actually it's a fun game.
Is it?
It is a very fun game. It has very nice nuances to it, and if you've never played it before, then the game derives from the old school version of poker, which used to be the 5-card draw. Oh, wow. And this game is then part of the draw games family, which means that you will get dealt a combination of 5 cards, and then you have a chance to redraw either 0 to 5 of those cards.
Oh, wow.
So basically, without further ado, let's get started. I'll deal you and me both 5 cards, and the name deuce to 7 comes from the fact that the hand strengths in this game are turned upside down.
Okay.
So basically it means that the worst hand is the best hand and the best hand is the worst hand. So what do you want to see in your hand?
Let's do it open, right?
Yeah, we can do it open.
Yeah.
So what you want to see in your hand is totally small unconnected cards, which you have like a pretty nice set of. And the best hand, like the name refers to, the deuce to 7, is then starting from the smallest, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then it cannot be a straight, so thus the 6 is a bad card. It is taken out from in between, and then 7. So meaning the deuce, 3, 4, 5, 7 is the best combination in this game. You cannot have any flushes as well. So flush is bad, any pair is bad, any straight is bad, any 2 pair is bad, etc.
Okay.
And the second part of the name, triple draw, refers to the fact that you can actually change 3 times whatever you have.
Okay, so how many? I can burn some, right?
So yeah, the game starts in a way that now, once we have been dealt the cards, you usually have some chips in front of you as well, so there is a round of betting, and then you would choose the cards that you would like to keep.
So probably discard this one.
Yeah, and then you don't want to keep a hold of the pair either. So the pair is bad, the pair of 5s. So discard
Like
one of the 5s. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep a hold of these and then discard those 2. Then the dealer, as always, burns 1 card, deals 2 cards to you and 2 cards to me.
Okay, this is not good, right?
Well, yeah, it looks very good, but actually it's a straight.
I cannot have a straight.
Yeah, so straight is bad. So thus, you need to make like some kind of adjustment. And what you want to do in that situation is always you want to basically draw for the best combination possible. So deuce to 7. So which card do you want to discard?
Deuce to 7. Come on. 4. No, 6.
6.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was like, you just told me that.
All right. So yeah, and basically, I have like a semi-strong hand here with 8-7, which is like in a multi-way pot. Maybe you would actually want to discard it, but here, for the sake of it, let's continue drawing. And now, before this, actually, in an in-game situation, there would be another round of betting, but since we don't have chips and we don't do it. And
look at that. Is it good?
Wow. Wow. Well, okay.
Maybe I should come and play it.
My job here is done.
Yeah. Thank you. And this is the end of it. I'm a pro. Thank you. You seriously are a madman, you know?
You got the nuts.
I have the nuts.
Well, maybe because I'm an optimist, I would still continue with you because like you would then bet and stand pat. I would use my last draw to change this 1 card and see if I can pay you some extra money. With a 10 high, probably I wouldn't.
Okay, so what happens now? It's just like...
so yeah, basically, once you then... the game is also a lot about like betting patterns and keeping an eye on what your opponents do. So let's say the cards are hidden, right? On the second draw, you say pat, so you don't change any more cards. And I would then basically derive from that you have some sort of a strong hand. And well, you have the nuts, then your job is to make maximum amount of money with that. But since I am still drawing with 1, then you would need to figure out what's the correct amount to bet.
Seems very easy to get the nuts in this game.
It's easy. Come play it.
Yeah, come on and join us. Hi everyone and welcome to the WSOP Circuit Tallinn 2024. I can't believe the day is here. So guys, I'm gonna give you a little tour around our festival. This here is our fabulous relaxing area where you can soak up the sun in case we have any and get some really good food. Let's see what's going on inside. So the first thing you should do is register here in the casino area and then head upstairs. But before we head upstairs, make sure to stop by our cool merch shop and get some gear. We're at the upstairs bar and here I have my favorite drink. Seriously, this is my favorite. Ollie Boost. Here is the cashier. You can get your tickets for the games from here. So this is our amazing TV table and we'll have live streams every day from Tuesday to 23rd of July. So make sure to tune in to OlyBet.tv. So this is the main room where all the action goes down. Check it out. What are you waiting for? Come and join us and be a part of this amazing festival. Welcome to day 3 here at the WSOP Circuit Tallinn 2024. Today was an action-packed day with 3 exciting ring events, keeping the energy high throughout the day. First up, we had the second and final day for the WSOPC €250 no-limit hold'em ring event number 1. This event saw a total of 788 entries by 450 unique players coming from 32 different countries. The first place winner set to walk away with an impressive €31,620. The competition was fierce and the event ran into the early hours of the morning. We also kicked off the ladies pre-roll and the WSOPC €350 8-game day 1. This event attracted players who were excited to show off their skills in different types of poker games. How is the 8 game going?
Well, it hasn't gone so well so far. I'm making a re-entry now, but it's a lot of fun and nice people. So I'm looking forward to go into my second bullet. That's a good thing.
It will go better, I'm sure. In addition, the WSOPC €555 no-limit hold'em ring event number 3 started today with Flight 1A in the morning and Flight 1B in the evening. Players are eager to secure their spots and compete for the honorable WSOP ring. The day also saw the commencement of the €250 no-limit hold'em bounty event and the €150 no-limit hold'em and PLO 456 mix in the evening. Stay tuned for more updates and highlights as the WSOP Circuit Tallinn 2024 continues. Good luck to all the players! Eriks, you won our first ring event this year out of 788 people. How did you do it?
I just ran really good, won pretty much every all-in, so I can't complain. I was really lucky, really lucky. And played good as well, but mostly lucky.
But how did you prepare for the last day?
I only played the last day. I straight up registered the second day. So yeah, I just came, played it till the...
And won.
And won, yeah.
Really easy. See how you can do this really simply. Were there any spots in the tournament where you thought like, hey, maybe I could win this?
Starting from like top 80, I think, because I had a big stack there. I always thought I could win, but I understand that not everything is because of my skill. I need some luck as well, and I got that luck, and I won. So.
Nice, it's a good story. How did you celebrate last night?
I didn't actually celebrate. I just came to hotel and straight up went to bed and I'm asleep. So yeah, I was up more than 24 hours. So yeah.
Are you planning to win any other rings this year?
Well, I'm not planning. I will try though.
Yeah.
It will be great if I win one more.
Which ones are you going to play?
I will play 555 event and a main event obviously, and a couple side events as well. So. Yeah.
Well, congratulations to you. It's an amazing win, and I hope you have a good luck in the other tournaments as well.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's day 5 here at the WSOPC Tallinn 2024, and we've reached the halfway of the festival. And today was nothing short of spectacular. Before we get into it though, we want to congratulate our champion of ring event number 4, €350 PLO 4 and 5 progressive bounty, Aki Pysing from Finland, who walked away with the ring and €6,300. What did it take you to win the tournament?
Just to be very lucky. It's very important to be born on Sunday.
Ooh, that's the first one. I haven't heard that before. And actually, I think I was born on a Sunday. So I have a chance?
Yeah, you should consider giving up to interviews and starting playing poker.
How did you prepare yourself for the final day?
We played all day through, so I prepared for the final table. I ordered a double vodka and a soda.
How did you celebrate or are going to celebrate it?
Well, I celebrated it. I went to the hotel room and woke up my spouse. And then we had a cognac and then we went to sleep.
The long-awaited €1,500 main event kicked off today with Flight 1A in the morning and Flight 1B in the evening. The anticipation was palpable as players took their seats, ready to compete for the most prestigious title of the tournament. Downstairs in the casino, we hosted a lively meet and greet, complete with a surprise performance from our in-house band. It was a great chance for players and fans to mingle, relax, and enjoy some fantastic entertainment. After which we kicked off the €150 No Limit Hold'em special, where our celebrity guests took part in and had a bounty on their head. We also had the ladies meet and greet, which included a ladies-only free satellite event. This was a fantastic opportunity for our wonderful ladies to connect and compete. Alongside this, the highlight of the day, the €250 No Limit Hold'em Queen's Ring event commenced its final, with the winner set to walk away with the coveted WSOPC ring and a top prize of €5,500. The final table battle was intense, as none of the ladies wanted to give up the ring and the prize. Play lasted for about 5 hours before the heads-up battle commenced, and it continued until...
Jamming it in, and here we have it.
At least there's an all in the call, but it's Linda from Finland. She's ahead, of course, with the ace-2, so might be the big double-up for her.
Could be. She's faded disaster and managed to be quite lucky in these all-in situations. She's won her previous 4 all-ins, I believe, as the short stack. Is she going to continue that run?
You're going to miss for both. Still ahead, well ahead with the ace-deuce.
Oh, there's a jack on the turn.
Big change. Now, Linda from Norway. Oh, there we have our winner in the ladies event. WSOP Circuit event in Tallinn. Ladies event, the ring winner is Linda from Norway.
So you were the one taking home the fabulous WSOPC ladies ring. And I saw the battle, it was pretty tough. What do you think was your advantage in the heads-up game?
First of all, I was lucky. I had great cards. Maybe a tiny advantage that I'm not afraid of losing.
Yeah, I saw your play. It was really good to watch. You were being really brave. But was there a moment in the game when you almost saw the ring on your finger?
To be frank, I knew it was gonna be mine when we were like 4 people left.
4 left.
Yeah.
Nice. Really?
Is that okay to say that?
Why not? It's being honest, you know. Congratulations to our deserving winner. Finishing off the evening, we had the €555 No Limit Hold'em Day 2. Players fought tooth and nail to reach the final table, which will be streamed live on Wednesday. And that's all for Day 5. There's still plenty more exciting poker action to come in the second half of the festival. Good luck to all the players, and let's keep the momentum going. Hello, my friend.
Hello.
You just won the 8th game and the WSOPC ring. Please tell me, how do you feel right now?
Actually very proud because I lived in Finland 10 years. They're very good in mixed games. And everyone knows I'm fish. And now I run a decent-sized mixed game tournament thingy. And everyone knows I'm fish. So to do 8th game with a ring and actually win a 3-hour heads-up battle, I'm proud. I'm not that bad.
I agree, you're not that bad at all. Was there a hand that you're like super proud of?
None. I was lucky all the way.
What about the deuce to 7 triple draw? You got the nuts?
I got nuts several times. If I'm super honest, I think I was not playing bad, but I was lucky when I sucked out 2 persons. They were angry with me. In the final 5, I took out everyone, including 3 Norwegians, and they have oil and they're rich and they're so good in 8 game. Sorry my English, but I took them all out. So yeah, I sucked out. I was lucky. Here's the chips. Here's the ring. But also you gave me feedback. Franke, be serious. Yesterday, you remember when I almost went crazy?
Yeah.
You said, now you win. And
I did. It's always me a little bit, you know?
I went winning, and I'm very proud. I'm happy.
How are you going to celebrate now?
I think I will drink tea.
Thank you so much. I'm proud of you and congratulations. And maybe you'll get another ring this year. Also, you have like some options.
Endless. And there is another 8 ring events still available. So I will fight. I will do my best. I'm not the best poker player in the world, but I give a match.
Hey, you have the ring. You're very good.
I'm quite proud.
Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Welcome to the WSOPC Tallinn 2024. It has been an absolutely crazy day here at the Hilton Tallinn Park Hotel. Let's take a look at what happened. First of all, we want to congratulate the winner of our first ring event, the €250 No Limit Hold'em, which ran into the early hours of Monday morning, was won by the Latvian Eriks Krūmiņš. Eriks, you won our first ring event this year. How did you do it?
I just ran really good, won pretty much every all-in, so I can't complain. I was really lucky, really lucky. And played good as well, but mostly lucky.
Were there any spots in the tournament where you thought like, hey, maybe I could win this?
Starting from like top 80, I think, because I had a big stack there. I always thought I could win, but I understand that not everything is because of my skill. I need some luck as well, and I got that luck, and I won.
We kicked off the day with the €555 No Limit Hold'em Flight 1C. The competition was fierce as players battled it out, each one determined to advance to the next stage and get closer to that prestigious ring. Next up was the exhilarating €350 PLO 4 and 5 Progressive Bounty. This unique event, featuring €100 bust-out bounties, kept everyone on the edge of their seats with its intense strategy and high stakes. The €250 No Limit Hold'em Queens event was a highlight for sure. This ladies-only 8-handed event saw incredible skill and determination as players competed to reach the final table. The final table is going to be live streamed on Tuesday, so stay tuned for more excitement from these amazing women. But the crown jewel of the day was undoubtedly the €350 8-game final. The final table started out with 7 players, all eyeing that ring, and the first prize of over €8,000. And after 7 hours of nail-biting action, we had our winner. Please tell me, how do you feel right now?
Actually very proud because I lived in Finland 10 years. They're very good in mixed games. And everyone knows I'm fish. And now I run a decent-sized mixed game tournament thingy. And everyone knows I'm fish. So to do 8 game with a ring and actually win a 3-hour heads-up battle, I'm proud. I'm not that bad.
I agree, you're not that bad at all. Was there a hand that you're like super, super, super proud of?
None. I was lucky all the way.
And that's a wrap for day 4. The WSOP Circuit Tallinn 2024 is just heating up. So stay tuned for more updates and highlights. I'll see you tomorrow for another thrilling day of poker action.
find some more outs. He does find the gut shot, so a 9 or a 7 will save him's tournament life. Otherwise, we have the winner in Mikko Ylimäki. Is it gonna be a 9 or a 7? It's a king. Both players hit the river, but it means that Mikko Ylimäki is our winner. Congratulations, applause. King. Oh, this might be it. Now, yeah, shipping it in, and of course, we'll receive an immediate call without outs. Mantas Talonlevicius is all in, but this is the bad news for him. Edgaras Kaučinis has already sealed the title. It's over before the river falls, because Not Straight for Edgaras Kaučinis has sealed it. Huge congratulations to our winner of Kings of Tallinn main event 2024.
So Eva, I have a few questions about the 8 game, and I heard you're a pro at it.
Oh.
Is it true?
My vision is to become a pro sometime, but I love it. I play it as much as I can.
Well, I know nothing about it. I'm serious. And can you tell me what are the most important things about the game, or how does it even go?
Yeah. It's 8 games, so it's like in athletics, you see that they do 8 different sports. So we have 8 different card games, and that's what I love about it. It's so much variation. So I will not try to tell you all about these 8 games, but it's very much that you have to use your brain and you see patterns and so on, and that's why I love it.
Can you tell me the 8 games, like the names of the games?
Oh God! It's it's Omaha, high-low, and normal Omaha, and then it's Texas. Both fixed limit and no limit, and then it is my favorite game, Deuce to 7, triple draw.
I've heard about it.
Yes, I love it. And then it's Stud 8 or better. That's like Stud high-low, and the RAS, which I also love very much.
Do you switch the games like in every hand, or how does it go?
No, it's you have a button and you play like one orbit of each game. And if you are fewer on the table, then you play more hands. So if it's like 6-handed, you always play 6 hands, even if you're maybe 5 persons. So, and that's the best thing, because you get some time. But it's also the worst thing when it comes to a game that you don't like. You just want it to get over with. And then you sit and you want to play like, I'm looking forward to the Deuce to 7. I'm like drooling when it say, now it's time.
But is the queue of the games always the same? Like you always start with Texas, then you go to RAS, or like how does this go?
Actually, it's a little bit different. Online, it's in one way, and in tournaments, they can decide themselves how to do it. Okay. And for instance, I played in PC in March in Bratislava. Then it was called Heteros, so it was 6 games instead of 5. Instead of horse, we played Heteros, and then they put the stud games every second round, because it's very easy to confuse. You sit and play stud and you are a little bit tired or something, and then it comes stud high-low. So it's different I'm not very good at the rules, but I think you can choose a little bit.
Yeah. What do you think is like the hardest game of the 8 for people to play?
I think Texas Hold'em No Limit is the hardest, because it's so everyone knows it so well. But obviously it's the easiest because everyone plays it. But maybe to become really good, maybe RAS or Stud. Stud, I think it's very difficult. Stud high-low is much more comfortable, but Stud it's a tricky game. Those who are good at Stud can get a lot of chips in.
Yeah. And what is your favorite game of the 8?
Oh, almost everyone I
Well, if you have to choose only one.
Deuce to 7 triple draw, and on the second place Raz, and then all the high-low games. So I said 3.
Yeah, still you get away with it. But what is for you the hardest one? Like that you think that you should get maybe better at it, or?
I think actually Texas, because I'm not playing a lot of Texas. I think it's not as much fun as the other. And if you don't play any, if you don't practice, then you will not become very good. So I think I'm very medium in the Texas games. And also stud is tricky. I like when it's high-low and or low games and a little bit more crazy. But stud and Texas is my, I think, toughest.
What would you say to a beginner, like some suggestions if I would like to come and start playing 8 game?
Yeah.
Like how to study, how to begin with it, or?
Well, there are some nice books that you can
Did you start with a book?
I start with the books and I played online, mastering the mixed games, I think it's called, one and another Raz book that I also read. But then lately I have been taking a course online, BBC Poker, BBC Poker Mixed Game Bundle it's called. So this is the Norwegian guy, Tobias Leknes Senkel, and together with Pieface, a very famous UK guy. They have a fantastic education. And when I got to train with this one, I felt I got one step up. So I can really recommend that one. And talk with friends and try to play.
Who know how to play, right?
Yes. and most of my friends don't like it, but Lena, who I'm here with, we play, and my friend Ylva and Linda. We have some girls that love to play. Gia is coming also.
So as I understood, I should begin with 8 different books.
Actually, the book Mastering the Mixed Games, I think it's called. It's green, at least. It's all mixed games, so you don't have to buy 8 books. And if you take this BBC Poker online, then you have also, I think they teach 10 or 12 games, and it's fantastic.
I have one more question. Why the 8 game?
The more the merrier. I like variation. I think it's a very nice, the people who are playing mixed games are very friendly and a little bit crazy and like to party and have fun. It's very seldom you see someone sit with a hoodie and glasses.
Being really serious.
Yes, so it's more like, blah, 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 cheers. And it's just so much fun, friendly community.
Thank you, Eva, so much for that.
That was lovely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So the final table of the first ladies ring event here in Tallinn is starting really soon. And Mirjam, you are one of the finalists. How are you feeling right now?
Oh, really nervous, waiting for the good chance to triple up. I am starting my final table from the last position as the smallest stack. And
yeah, I heard it's 5 big blinds, right?
Yes, exactly.
So your strategy is to...
Hoping to get good cards and all in.
Is this your first WSOPC event that you're playing?
Actually, I've played in Morocco also. Yes.
And in case you win the ring, it might happen, right? Even if you have 5 big blinds. How would you celebrate?
Oh, go home and sleep because the last night couldn't sleep much.
I'm joined by the chip leader, Jenny Westerlund of Sweden. First, welcome to the final table.
Thank you very much.
And this is a 2-day event, so you played day 1 yesterday.
Yes.
Have you had trouble sleeping coming in as a chip leader?
A little bit. I slept for like 4 hours and I woke up and had to force myself to sleep again. But a bit nervous.
Yeah. Commanding chip lead, is that affecting your thoughts coming into this one, your tactics?
No, not really. Just going to play the player.
Yeah? So what about stories from yesterday? Do you have anything special that made you the biggest stack, or was it numerous hands?
Not really. It was just small pots here and there.
Yeah.
A lot of good cards. Lucky, I guess.
Yeah. So I know this would be your first ring, of course, winning. What are your thoughts? Nervous?
It would be amazing to have another win to my record.
Yeah. Biggest win so far?
No.
It will not be? No?
No.
What is your biggest win so far?
My biggest cash is when I came fourth in Nordic Masters, but my biggest achievement was 3 WPT titles in 1 week.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah. So that's why you say adding another title then.
Yes,
Yeah?
exactly.
All right. Well, best of luck and have fun at the final table.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Back in the studio, I'm here, joined by George Sanford. You've been doing the entire commentary for this final table, and now we're down to the heads up.
Absolutely. It's been a rip-roaring final table. Really enjoyed commentating on it because it's been one of those final tables where we've actually seen the chip leader really assert himself onto the table. Phil Gross, of course, from Germany, has shown to be an excellent player, really understanding the dynamics and the power of the big stack with all of the ICM in play.
Yeah, and perhaps we should mention which event are we actually down to the heads up in as well.
In the 555 euro ring event here. So it's going to be 55,000 for first and I believe 37,000 for second. Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah, something like that. And we just had a short break for these guys. And I know there were some discussions about a deal as well, but didn't happen. So we're now ready to start the heads up play.
Yeah, some negotiations going on there, a bit of to and froing, and in the end, I believe that they said, you know what, let's just play and see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, being second in chips this much behind the ICM deal probably doesn't favor you that much, right?
Not really. I think that you've basically got nothing to lose. You're not going to get much more than second with this kind of chip deficit. Of course, he might be able to lock up an extra 6,000-7,000 euros, but I think as the short stack, I'd just be taking my chances here and giving it a shot. If you run it up, great. If not, so be it.
Yep. So the two gentlemen down to the heads up, Oleksiy and Phil Gross pictured. This is Oleksiy, and Phil pushes him all in. I think, did he limp or raise the button? I missed it.
He limp folded King 3, which... Yeah, I think with the big blind ante, for chippy V, normally King 3 would just be a shove, and I think in big blind ante, you just have to push a king there, because with that extra big blind in play, you're essentially playing something like 7 to 6 big blinds effective. So, yeah, I'm surprised to see him not take the king, but he avoided disaster. Phil would have called with the ace, of course, so that is an interesting limp fold early days there.
Yep. And we just saw Lena walking off the stage, doing a reporting now. She was in the booth with you earlier.
Yeah, great energy. Really, really pure soul. I enjoyed commentating with her.
Our cameramen are, of course, ready as well to capture all the action for you guys. And, down to the chase for that ring we just saw in picture as well. And, of course, as we mentioned earlier, not only the big money, the ring, and the possibility, the chance to play the 1 million free roll in US next year, the Tournament of Champions, as Phil finds threes.
Yeah, and
surely
this is one of the most natural shoves that you have. These low pairs, they just achieve so much. Getting 2 random overcards, even like this 8-4 offsuit, will just hit the muck. So no limping, no min raising, no messing around really. Just shoving it in and taking it down. Picks up 2 big blinds. Good stuff from Phil, and kind of continuing the momentum that we saw before the break.
Surely does, and surely he will stay aggressive as well. I saw a few discussions between him and his friends before during the break of this heads up, and I think his intentions were basically just keep pushing.
Yeah, keep the pressure on the short stack. Again, big blind ante in heads up is not a particularly common format, and so. Yeah, it very much favors the larger stack, I think, because it's just the short stack has so few hands to find a spot, and he's going to be faced with a lot of aggression, obviously.
Yeah, another limp
so
now.
Again, with the king X limping here. And Phil checks back king 8, so we're going to see a flop here.
Yep, so 1.2 million in the middle already.
Mm-hmm.
If ever anyone favors, not really.
So not really, and it's a difficult board for Oleksiy to represent too much. You'd feel that 8 big blinds effective. He'd be shoving a lot of his ace-X here. He might have some traps. He could trap something like some suited ace-X and maybe occasionally a hand like ace-king, but Just taking it down with a small bet. Phil not really having any equity there. Just king high with no backdoor flush draw. So Alexei with the limp and a little stab at it. Takes it down, picks up 2 big blinds. Back to 10.
Yep. So Phil will be first to act, just waiting for the big blind, trying to get away. And the big blind ante is there, so we're playing 200, 400. And as you can see, Phil with the 14 million, queen 9, probably racing again, right?
Yeah, I think quite likely to shove.
Yeah.
Getting some weak king X hands to fold is ideal. Looks like he's going to go for the limp, though. The hand is playable. You don't mind limping, and then your opponent checks back some hands like queen deuce, queen 3, 9-4, 9-5. So you do dominate some of the check back range.
Alexei now with the shove, the ace deuce. Not likely to get called by Phil.
No, not trapping with the queen 9 here, just trying to see a flop. And it is interesting with the big blind ante because you are incentivized to play a lot of limps.
Yeah.
Because you just
it's
get
another game, right?
Such a great price, exactly. Yeah. You get a price of 0.5 into a pot of 3 big blinds, so it does incentivize playing lots of limps. So maybe that's what these guys are doing, incorporating a lot more limps, and rather than just shoving every hand. But with this kind of stack depth of sort of 10, 11 big blinds, I'm surprised that we've not seen a little more aggression from these two with that stack. Just because the incentive to pick up these chips is so massive. So Alexei here with the 6-4 suited, he is going to jam this one. It achieves a lot. You get a lot of better hands to fold. But pocket 5's not going to be one of those. Phil is going to stick it in here.
He doesn't love it.
No, he doesn't love it. He knows he's going to be up against 2 overs a decent amount of the time. But think of all of the hands like ace 4, king 4, king 3, maybe. Queen deuce suited. So I think it's a fairly comfortable and a fairly happy call in a heads up. But of course, the momentous occasion does dictate that, you know, nothing's ever easy. You've got to get over the line now, and he's got to hold here with these 5s. I don't think he's called yet, which is
he asked for a count, I think.
Quite dramatic. Yeah.
So if he calls, he'll be happy to see the 6-4, though.
Definitely, yeah. That's one of the hands that he really wants to see here. And a reluctant call, but a call nonetheless, and the cards will be on their backs here. Pocket 5s up against the 6-4 suited of the shorter stack in Alexei from Ukraine.
5?
And it's going to be a 2-1 advantage for Phil. Can he hold? There's a club in the window. 3 clubs.
Oh,
wow.
And the club is at Phil hands as well. So as you can see in the top right corner, only 2 6s right now for Alexei.
No flush draw, no straight draw.
This adds a few more outs.
An 8, the offsuit 8 or the offsuit 6 only. 5 outs once.
Will it go?
For Phil.
Oh!
Oh, that's an absolute sickener with that run out.
Wow.
Pocket 5s, almost flopping your opponent dead to the offsuit 6. He turns the gutter and just absolutely bangs it off.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, sitting back in the chair. I was just about to say the camera is on Alexei, looking pretty happy, but Phil...
Yeah, Phil looks distraught.
Disgusted.
I mean, that's the first time in many hours that he's actually now lost the chip lead.
Yeah.
So Alexei now with the chip lead, finding the 6-4 suited shove, I think it makes a lot of sense. You do get a lot of better hands to fold. Doesn't seem like Phil's going to be the type to call off a hand even like king 6 suited if he's tanking with 5. So I quite like the aggression there from Alexei, and he does run into a hand, but he does find a magical river card there to keep his hopes and dreams alive, flying the flag of Ukraine. And
Absolutely.
he did tell us that he was going to be donating to the war situation as well. So obviously a slightly heartwarming element to that story.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, in the chip lead now, Alexei of Ukraine. Phil Gross, Germany, slightly behind, but pretty even now in chips.
It's fairly neck and neck. And you know what? We actually got some poker to be played now. We got 20 big blinds, big blind ante. And here you see the info on Phil. And he's been, oh, there we go. He's got his smile back. He's got his mojo back. It's a tough beat to take, but he's been great energy at the table. And yeah, really one finger in that ring on the turn and even on the flop.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
He
was already wearing it, right?
Exactly. He's just about to grab the box and hoist it aloft, but unfortunately not to be.
Grinding now then.
Yeah, so this is where things get interesting now. We're slightly deeper, so we are going to see lots of limping. Can't really fold even a hand like Jack 6. I think the only hands you really want to fold here with this big blind ante is a hand like 8 deuce or deuce 3 off, but mostly V-pipping. Alexei with the Queen Jack, is he going to go for an ISO and call it off, or a shove, or even a check back? All three options on the table. He does go for the check back. It does allow him to keep in some hands that he dominates, and you can see here that's exactly what he's got.
Well, I was about to say jack high board, but it wasn't. But
no,
still,
the ace.
Both players hitting the jack.
Yeah,
trouble for Phil.
It's a bit of a cooler heads up in this kind of situation. Phil does find a nice check back with the weak Jack X, though. Would have definitely been betting some stronger Jack X, but kind of balancing a little bit.
Yeah, and Alexei, as you can see, improving to the 2 pair.
Yeah, huge turn for him. And lots of draws now available on the turn. Any king, any 10, make a gut shot, and the inclusion of the backdoor hearts now as well.
Yeah.
So plenty to seek value from, and he does go for this middling half pot sizing. And Phil just quickly gets out the way with the jack.
Wow.
That's an excellent fold. Wasn't expecting to see him not see a river there.
Alexei just with the check back pre-flop, and I mean, hard to put him on an ace and stuff like that. So yeah,
difficult, right? He's got lots of bluffs there. He's got lots of 10x, lots of king x, maybe stabbing the turn with the gut shot, looking to pounce on the perceived weakness of the check back from Phil. So Phil seems like he knows his customer here.
Yeah, actually, well, discipline lay down. And
Very.
it was quick, really. He didn't even give it a thought.
And he was, in fact, drawing dead. So excellent work from Phil there.
Yep.
And
tapping his own shoulder if he looks back at this on the live stream later on.
Well, that was very quick and disciplined fold. So Alexei with the Queen 3, likely to be seeing some kind of limp.
Limp it is.
Yeah.
What about Phil in the big blind? Queen 7 suited. Checks back. So we're off to another flop then. I think we're going to see a bit of this, right? With the, as you said, with the big blind ante.
Just lots of limping, checking back. These suited hands don't really want to ISO and then fold to a shove. You're just getting out of a bit too much equity. Whereas Phil, if he is going to pounce on some of these wider limps and, you know, like a 90-95% range, he might be better off ISOing some offsuit hands that are clear folds to the limp jam. So anyway, he does flop a flush draw. Alexei with Queen 3, a real swing and a miss, but he's going to take a stab at it. A paired board with the flush draw, but fairly disconnected, so no straight draws available. So you do want to potentially lean on some of these king highs that don't have a heart potentially that might fold.
Phil looking for the check raise.
Yeah, he's taking the initiative here. Instantly becoming awkward for hands like ace high if that were to be limped, or any kind of 4x, even pocket 3s, deuces that didn't shove. So taking the initiative, and to good effect there. Nicely played from Phil, and we're back to level all of a sudden again.
Exactly. Yeah, so coming into this heads up, we might thought it would be a quick one, but the double up, and now almost, as you said, exactly even in stacks. So
some negotiations, a quick double up there with one of the sickest rivers that we've seen so far. Based on that run out, it was a fairy tale river for Alexei, though. Did find the offsuit 8 and is indeed still alive. So Phil with the 7-4. He does fold.
Yeah, one of a few hands. Wow, Alexei will
Your
be
favorite
glad to show him the
pure trash.
I don't want to get against this.
Some laughters on the rail, is it?
Yeah, it sounded like some jovial spirits in the room, which is what you come to expect here in Tallinn. Great energy around the room. Lots of outer table action as well. We've got the €1,100 PLO, PLO4, PLO5. and the 1500 main event, of course, which is running in the main room.
Yeah, and also we just started a 150 deep stack bounty tournament as well with a long line to the cashier.
I
so
bet.
A lot of people in that one as well.
Everyone's really thirsty for the bounties here, aren't
Yeah.
they? It's just a carnival atmosphere in those bounty tournaments.
As Alexei limping the king 6. What about Phil?
Let's see, 10-4 suited.
Expecting a check back? Or will he get creative again?
He might. Ooh, I think he was tempted to find an ISO with this kind of holding. It would make a lot of sense. You might be able to get rid of some of the 10-6 and sort of 8-4 type holdings in that Jack-4 type limp.
Interesting board now.
Yeah, so top pair versus middle pair. Bit of a cooler heads up, so pair versus pair. Quite difficult to hit the flop in No Limit Hold'em, of course. You're going to miss about 2/3 of the time, so both players with a piece.
At least Phil just goes for the call.
Mm-hmm.
Not building more into this one. 9 on the turn doesn't change anything. No draws for either player.
I think Alexei with this nut 6, and I say nut 6 because ace-6 might have jammed pre-flop a decent amount, would do well to find another bet here. The only 9x in the opponent's range is likely to be hands like 9-3, 9-5. So wanting to get value from the worst 6x, the flush draws, the straight draws.
So is it $1 million into the 2.5?
$2 million.
2 million,
yeah. Nice confident sizing here. He knows where he's at in the hand. He knows that he's going to be ahead of so much. With this big blind check back, they have obviously the 100% of hands, but also weighted to the bottom end as they didn't raise. So there's going to have a lot of 4x. He's going to have a lot of deuce-x. He's going to have a lot of worse 6x. And that's exactly what he's looking to target here with this meteor sizing. Also does set up around a pot size river jam. No, just less actually. It would be 5.5 behind into 6.5. So relatively geometric with the sizing. And oh, wow.
Whoa.
Phil goes for the check jam with the 10-4. And this is a move that I just didn't even see coming because he hasn't turned any additional equity. And if you're in Alexei's shoes here, you're thinking, what on earth have I run into here? Does he have 5-3? Does he have 9 deuce, 9-4? 9-5, 9-3.
Oh, let's go.
And Phil muscles Alexei out of the pot there.
Big
finding a really creative check jam versus quite a large sizing as well.
Is Phil showing? I think so, right?
Yeah, and Alexei sees that he got muscled out of that one, and he gives him a rather... Yeah, it was not really...
I was better, yeah.
It wasn't an honest thumb, right?
No, yeah, it was a kind of an inauthentic thumbs up, let's say.
Let's see if Phil can favor from that and maybe get some value in the next hand as well. As
yeah, and I
Alexei
think
a little bit tilted now, maybe.
I think Phil thought he had the best hand and was just trying to drive Alexei out of the draws and the gut shots and the flush draws and all this kind of stuff. So, very interesting.
Now, can he favor of the tilt of Alexei, or will he find a fold when Phil will definitely be race shoving this one?
I think with the big blind ante in play, it's nice to find when you're having a lot of limps in your range, some traps, and ace-king seems like a very natural one.
All the options on the table, except folding maybe.
Yes.
All in is the
just
choice
goes for the
of
shove.
Phil Gross. What about Alexei? King 7.
Yeah, so 12 big blinds effective here. King 7 with the big blind ante in play.
Be heavily dominated if he was to call off this one.
Mm-hmm.
5.6 million still behind. Having put in $1 million already with the big blind and the ante.
I think if you call, we can go home.
Amazing. That's like the Scotty Nguyen. If you call, it's all
over,
baby.
Yeah.
And we've got one in 2024 now.
It's going to be a classic one.
Yeah, we don't have many personalities in the game. They've kind of been eroded by the solvers,
right?
and he gets the call.
It is a call, and Domination Nation for Phil Gross versus Alexei.
He talked him into it.
They did, right?
There's the king and there's the ace, pal. Wow. Okay, so
right.
Alexei looks a bit hot under the collar after getting muscled off of his equity there with the king 6 in the previous hand. Gets talked into a light call here with the king 7, and we're off to the races. And it's queen 6. So just the backdoor flush draw for Alexei here. Phil just looking to fade the 7 primarily, but heart could spell disaster on the turn also. 8 is safe. Is it to be the 7?
7 and a 7 only can save Alexei.
And it's the queen, so ace-king holding up
We
beautifully
have
there.
our winner, the 555 event, WSOP Circuit event in Tallinn 2024. The No Limit Hold'em event number 3. And cheers for the winner, Phil Gross of Germany.
Yes, and there you see the outpouring of all of the emotions. He's been a cool customer at the final table. We've enjoyed his charisma, we've enjoyed his table presence, and we even got treated to a little bit of table talk at the key moment there.
And he snaps the ring immediately, right?
Of course, that's exactly what he had his eyes on the entire final table. He came with an aggressive style, a great game. He actually didn't win all that many all-ins compared to how many times he was all-in himself, but he got the job done, and it just goes to show aggression pays off in the game of No Limit Hold'em tournament poker.
Oh, and we're back in the studio.
Back in the studio after that rip-roaring conclusion for Phil. I think a well-deserved winner.
Yeah, absolutely. And actually, I know before this he mentioned that he has been second in a few tournaments now, as we saw already last year in the main event here in Tallinn, and a few other second places as well. So I don't think he was too confident coming into the heads-up, actually. And his opponent said, like, I'm a great heads-up player, so watch out. So, you know, I think somewhere in the back of his mind he was a little bit worried that he would get second again, but now he has his title. He's won the 555 big one here in the circuit events in Tallinn, and huge congratulations to Phil Gross. And I think we're ready to see the winner presentation as well. So we'll leave it over to Teresa to present.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner on ring event number 3. This is the 555 No Limit Hold'em that had a total of 617 entries. Down to the winner. Our winner receiving €55,210 plus the World Series of Poker Circuit Tallinn 2024 ring. Please give a hand to Phil Gross.
So jubilation there for Phil. Hoisting that massive
Phil
check.
Gross from
ring.
Germany, everybody. Ring event number 3.
And of course, the lofty sum of €55,000. What a performance, and what an excellent job he did closing it out there.
Yeah, definitely. We're the winner, and yeah, oops, dropping the money.
Careful, Phil. And the ring. Some of the emotions there coming into play for sure.
Yeah, a well-deserved winner. And that's it for the live stream of today. Any final words about today's play for you?
Yeah, really impressed. Of course, the standard of poker is very high in Tallinn. Of course, many tough players at the final table. We had a very interesting one in the form of all of the ICM ninja dodging with the short stack. We saw Rupe Tami do really well to come back from absolute dust to hero to oblivion to hero to oblivion so many times. And that was a real captivating watch, just how persistent and dialed in he was with whatever stack that he had to deal with, going through the motions when he had the chip lead, losing it, and then grinding the short stack. So that was a real key theme across the final table today.
Yeah. So we hope you enjoyed this stream. And as we said earlier, we have a lot of tournaments ongoing right now. And tomorrow will be the live stream of the final table of the PLO4, PLO5 card game. So 12:30, we aim to be back with another stream and to crown another ring winner.
Yeah, I can't wait for that one. Obviously, PLO4, PLO5 is the game I love and play every day. So really looking forward to commentating the action, hoping to see yet another high standard of play on the feature table.
Yeah. So join us tomorrow from 12:30, and all the information you need about the event is on olybet.tv. See you soon.
Good night.
Good night.